folin Prejhet jeta si torta Ju këto si pes kolojna Se na në pak se lojna Jeta o shumë shkurt Kejt lek me t'mitin dojna Jeta o zje ma zi S'kom show kejt i kom vazni Respekt zdo ven ku hi Se kejt e din që s'ko ma gji Kusha e flegi bir Halo ta mojna tregin Kush ka menu që zvim Na vim bi prap ta dekim Dash bin dash rrug ju presim Qojt fola nëse vesin Halo nuk jena shpraz Këta leta mu shinthesin Po driva toka Kur vim në dosa Fet në qëm bosa Si naske poske Po driva toka Kur vim në dosa Fet në qëm bosa Si na nuk ko Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Po driva toka Kur vim në dosa Fet në qëm bosa Si naske poske Po driva toka Kur vim në dosa Fet në qëm bosa Si na nuk ko Driva toka tërmet Qive ka du zdo shtet kejt njejt Kej për njo e njo për kejt Jo be met nuk mojna hejt Shqipe gjakun në shtrejt Halo këtu driva toka Se t'mit që nuk ta folin
O, mirë mërama, popullatën dërume, mirë mërama, qysh jeni, qysh ju kama, jeni mirë. Sonde djem këna mi qyrë bënajet, loja dyte bënajeve kundër bigave, kismet me njerë mas saj loje fillon ndeshja e bënajes, hella ylli Euroni Football Challenge, qysh ju kam bësa, jeni mirë, shakona i sen treja, qa po bani, qa marut. Ti këshyrën bëna e të sad një fitore vetë se e kam bo. Kena me lu kundër bigave të Gjermanis Deutschland. Qa valoj që kam juva jeni mirë. Qa kona i sen të reja. A jeni mirë kejt. Shka po bani. Qa kona i sen të reja. Bad news e i galt të ndërruar me së tjena, unë dhe bëna kom nëj copyright qëta. Murnal lavi bëna sa e nisa. A nejna murnal, zipse. Autobo lavi mirë tash? Po më do këta. Inshallah pe vitojnë alla. Auto kështo lak sot të pasa. Mu kam shirë valla Instagrami, edhe Instagrami edhe Facebooki mu kam shirë për momentin nuk kam as një rjetë sociale. Gju bosi nu ja në mërdhina e kojta be, gju. U knaqën mërë e. Këta ndeti na këtu të ngri. Mirë për na i bani valla. Ani. Po më do këtë që po Football Challenge, po ty be e kom arru e emni, se shto me da pun të minja të mirës. Se kom trunin kënej pari njëherë. Po qa po thuni jo? Shakona i sen ka jo? Apo meneni që kena me fitu sot, aja. Kem do blog there. Po ma Armenia. Çarbe Rio Rio de Janeiro. Gjemati të lakta e... Këto do këtë zbje bora? Borë në është ta bje? Ja, besë më armeni që bje këto. Në Rio de Janeiro. Ja, besë farti kjo vend tropikal. Shina është apo a borë. Ska shanca, a? Qara marë pashë rafte, sa gjemati këto. Rio Rio de Janeiro. Pa kry, do të më kry që ke loja për mi anis bëneja. Për ndrysh, pa kry ke loj, s'ka. Po më doke që këta janë të desh me kry si shpejt, me na pështu. Ma me gjarë s'ka kanë. Pëse që e kryin si shpejt. Was get up pony.
It's a great question to see if that'll be the case. I mean, hey, listen, this is about as this is very solid. 6 rounds, T-half, overpass versus a great.
Mos harroni me bë like, bosa edhe subscribe, jena afër 2000 subave që aty që dani që zëni, shnesh me kon. Shpërndajeni live-in, shok shoqe vtezet halla suni që në pijxumin se bën e kanë loj. Orari ka gjaj keq valla se atje në Amerikë. Sa ba? Atje në Amerikë ora 3, 4.
Oh, that one looks easy. Cabal. Oh, just can't track him fast enough. That Glock just moving. Trying to get shooting through this B site. Techno controls the monster side. That's his evacuation. Gets the bomb down in the dirt. HC. Could suddenly chop away that 3-round lead right out of the gates. We'll find out. We got Jamin Fame again. That was a headshot and score only took 15 damage. He's a lucky man.
Bad News Eagles të ndërruar me Shmedis Bruzilit.
Fame just had no idea. I think he closed the door on himself. Okay, I was like, how did you...
A do të kena naj kurbana, jo në majera.
Triple E'd it.
A e keni po lojën e por?
Now we have a game. If these were two teams of equivalent caliber, we would say I'd rather be the CD side, probably off a pistol, looking to get an anti-eco going, and that's something to think about. Outsiders will have to work hard to close this out. They still are favorites as of right now. We can say that. At least. For now. Fame is as one of the new players on the team. Really good land rating. Some trouble on land versus some of the better teams. This is not one of the highest rated teams.
Unë e ku qy lojën po kështu domethënë, jo live po çka pash në live stream. Se s'kesh në shpe. Që atëre kanë 4 kur kanë lu. Mire kanë lu valla. Super e kanë lu. Po presëm edhe qëtasht me sos.
I didn't yawn once when I was 16 years old, unless it was to mock somebody. You don't run out of energy when you're that young, okay? So that yawn, it's a taunt.
You know what's nice to see is this straight up kill differential from IHC. Look at that, folks. From 11 to 9 kills every single piece. And it feels like if you are going to punch upwards and cause these kinds of BO1 upsets, that's what you're hoping for. That's what you're leaning on. Norbert takes a hefty amount of damage off of the Molotov. CT's again getting aggressive. I mean, this is total contrast from what we saw from Outsiders. You know, maybe 1 or 2 rounds they pressed into the Fountain Peak, far more content to just let IHC play their T side. IHC try to get aggressive.
I think they bit on that way too hard. They thought it was going to be a full B for sure. For some reason, Techno
Që të pas në arrume hek, mërna.
ran full speed around that flank, and if you had sat, it would have been
My
a slightly
butt.
different position, definitely a better position. Right now, the CTs are still playing pretty active, right? In the middle of the map control. They've left A open, and this does allow for the huge wrap that's coming, which is a nice call from Outsiders, but they will have some CTs ready to attack. The only concern they have is the walk up long, and it looks like that might be found. We'll see. Score, did he show himself? Flit, eyes on this, but I don't know if he did show himself based on that reaction.
Good job of just keeping that head tucked.
One more coming in late. Don't know if there was any noise there. Score, he wants a duel. Kqyr, he's not pressing the issue. Always starts to come. Jeez, there are so many timings right now.
Kqyr doesn't have to go any further than this, right?
That's
You've
true.
already got 4 players pressing into the site. There's no real reason for him to try and give that kill away.
Wow, they figured it out.
Outsiders piecing together the puzzle as the frag comes over top of the wall, chips away at the bomb plant. Can't stop anybody. No damage was done to Outsiders prior to them getting into this bomb site. And post
Ce zvrtoni bosa kanë lajkani sob i shkon kogja mirë.
techno through the wall. And all of a sudden,
Edhe e pi presën bëna jetë që me kallë.
down to just 2.
Rezultatin 9-8, që ke loj, si të kryet ke loj.
Shots to ball. Safe, brother. Do not get anywhere near that bomb site. Outsiders. It's an easy first gun.
It really is.
Ja nisin bëna jetë.
Game plan. I mean, we had that round, a couple of rounds where Jane in the first half pushed the end of the stairs with an op. That's not a coincidence.
Pare kulinë ma shpejta bë, sala një 6 runda si shpejt fitani.
Or knew something before this match went live, which allowed him to do that. And on this round,
Një map dhe me thonë, e kena nuk e kena shumë.
full speed around the corner at long, like it was F1, right into his death. You know those cars are feeble, so few people staring back at him, and then right after that, it's the full punish. It's I know no one else is at long. It's I'm not even gonna waste your time, and I'm not even gonna waste my own time and check around for the bathrooms. I have an idea what this whole setup looks like now that Annihilation is dead, and they used it completely against IHC. And IHC, again, were well fortified on every other part of the map. 2 in stairs, controlling middle of the map, watching the bathrooms cross, and 2 in B. So if it wasn't for them figuring out this long situation, you could have had IHC still winning. Speaks a lot to how comfortable Outsiders were making that kind of big maneuver. Well, in the lead, but not firmly. Outsiders have a chance to win this and then crush the economy and leave doubts in the dust.
Ball with the mag 7. What's that at? He's got short water control.
Shpërdojnë më lajën, gjuni mërë gjuni. Ale shpërdojnë lajën, shkojnë për 50 watt qingë. Ka 50 lajka këti, ka një butoni like, më saranesh.
Score finds contact.
Like edhe subscribe bosa.
He backs up into the angle. Score's gonna find a freebie. And the fallback, wonderful from Annihilation. That works out perfectly for him. I thought maybe a kill and a dink, but he gets away with both. Shoots between the knees of Score on the fallback and a 5v2 off that one. Then Norbert chopped down for free. And all of a sudden, that potential threat of a crushed economy is going to meet the reality of the Mag 7.
Kur e ka bëna i lojen. Mas si të kryet që ke loj.
Knows better.
Si të kryet që ke, qëto direkt janë isë.
Out of this situation. Those are the CT setups I was talking about with IHC, where they are very well thought out. I mean, that was catch all, right? He had
Ka pasu në fakt që ta shtu desht mja pas nis, po këta e kanë vënu lojën qëta se jo preshën të asjera ta zisha amame.
avoided that entirely.
E patën teknik pause, time out, teknikal. Që amame pi thoj.
And that's a setup where you could paste that in any situation. It covers all options. You have inside and outside.
Ka si nëpë se të lejtë por jo preshë të asjera.
Acting the whole time. You have
Bleni Allah dhe të asjera ma të shtrejta.
that's a nice game plan win here for IHC.
Ja veç 5 është një map.
Casualties.
Yeah, big. And I think really big in contrast to the round we just saw prior, right? Where we get that just kind of lackadaisical sprint out long, like, oops, got caught. Didn't even put up a fight. And from that 5v4, Outsiders rolled forward.
Yeah, Annihilation has the least experience of anyone on the team. He's the newest player to come through on this lineup, so
White Shark më të asjera që ka pa pre.
risks that his team wins is not
Po thot që të White Shark i kana.
that's yeah, you don't want that to be a liability when you've already made it this far.
Quick dose of reality to Outsiders. That's
S'ma merë menja bre.
door blown off
Në qatë e regjën është s'ma merë menja që kanë ardhë.
here from Flit. Got Kqyr down to half health outside Monster. The other three
Ale ma kryjnë e lojë na vla që ka e posh. Shka një posh si pula pa kryja, e sa është kështu, jo që kini me bo jo najsen.
this time
Dhe më thonë se e fitojnë atë që të loj, nesër e kena best of 3.
I'm a big just one. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the amount of map control the CTs have right now, but they're also sort of hypnotized by it, right? I mean, if they don't want to leave these posts, they still have the
Kështu që na vynë fitoria.
They turn the corner at the same time as the CT spotting, so this will reveal the plans of the T's. However, now the bomb is going back to kind of re-gamble the round. James, what's he thinking about? Off that spot, it looks like it meant a lot to him.
Connector now under question as Split has to peel away.
This could be a great call from James. You know, they got a lot of progress, but they didn't turn that corner without seeing anybody. And when they got called out, they didn't want to commit to it. But this is where the action that has taken place in the beginning of the round, the setup phase of the round for IHC might pay off. They were working on short control, they had stairs at the same time, so they have late round options.
How many players can he catch off? Split. Oh, running with nades out. No kill until he catches bomb and score. At least finding one within that site, but the device gets picked right back up. They leave a smoke behind them. Flip finds another entry. Cabal quick on the flank, and James is not looking. He sneaks right through, and Norbert's dropped to 5 HP. 4 seconds, and he does not have time for the plant.
Wow.
IHC's setup pays off.
It does. Have a proactive setup like that.
And after time,
oh,
Norbert goes down.
That's a lot of money lost for Norbert and for the whole squad on Outsiders.
Game on.
Man, well done IHC for not just playing safe, not just playing one-dimensionally. They had multiple aggressive attacks coming through all at the same time across the map. And even though Jay made a very good call in going towards B, because IHC took multiple risks at the same time, they were ready to have A fall apart and still have options over on B. So they kind of overstacked that first half of the map, still had that spot going on. Honestly, even that flank in that last situation, through the short smoke, the ball's on that guy. Gotta appreciate it.
IHC's still bummed out that those walkthrough smokes on Monster didn't work on their T side.
Nice, so now they're still entering Monster.
There we go.
No matter what the uniform.
More of that.
And look, even though we only get 1 kill on this cross from Cabal, he sees 3. There's so much pressure on Outsiders once he sees 3. And that is such an unlikely position that you would think someone is spotting from.
Sure. Paid off. Tied game. And we are right back into it. Deep Molotov keeps them back. The solo AK for Jane. It's armored. And Norbert holding on to the smoke. Massive ask of Jane.
Qysh reklaman në i vët Instagram fals. A me tin këti në i vët. Sa e kanë lojën. Si të kryet që ke loj. Veç po presim përfundimin e kësaj loje, inshallah së shkojnë në overtime edhe bëna jetë do fillojnë. Inshallah së shkojnë në overtime. S'ka nevoj për overtime. Si funksionon kualifikimi së ndesh janë për të donë fazën me 8. Nëse fitojnë bëna jetë që të loj, e ka një best of 3. Dhe më thonë, nëse fitojnë tani qatë best of 3, shkojnë direkt në rundin tjetër. Dhe më thonë, për finale që i bjen. Kualifikohen në rundin tjetër. Ua, s'kera prijadi. Dhe më thonë që nëse fitojnë qitë loj, qëtash që kanë me lu, e kanë nesër një best of 3. Nëse hupin që të loj sëd, e kanë edhe një loj, normal, po best of 1. Dhe më hovis një map e kanë. Kështu që me fitu lojën e sëdit i shkon ma mirë, se neve s'na bjen tani na kualifikohemi ma let. Me 2 fitore, është ma let, kuptohet, se sa me një fitore një ujë. Kure marrëm një rëndë bëne e ketë me shkru në koment, marrë Gjermani. Mos e s'na ilëshojnë viza tani. Ka ardhë Arveni. Arbën pëdër. S'ka ardhë mu të heq me m'pa. Qa si shuk i mëtë. Lejt me një mlejt. Hale be krujnë ma shpejt a lajde. 2 e kësh koeficientin e ekipa jo. Mi pas një 1.000 i fitan 2.000 eshte me fitu bëna e jatë, i zi 1.000 plus domethënë. Kush po më i gjon janë i mjera bërç.
Trace back on a major.
Tash ti bën jetë me fitu.
As a father, sir.
Gjamin janë i mjera bërç, Allah, si që të bën ja u kthej.
Annihilation is just gonna sit on
Mos me fitu, shnash. Ashtu kështu kena investu dytë. Mu më dështoj biznesi, ty dështoj investimi.
catch a headshot. And all of a sudden, retake could be on. Techno's gonna press ever closer to the monster smoke.
Dë dalëm humbje.
Starts to assemble
Posh
the
Instagram.
boost, but then they kind of flub it.
S'kam Instagram, valla s'kam.
Techno drops a smoke point blank. Oi, 15 seconds. They come right through.
Got
He
his
at
one.
least catches the one. Yep, and Annihilation chops off the short play, but Fame. He's got both of those initial B defenders. 10 seconds on the clock. Blitz into the water, but Fame's got himself a third and a fourth. Every kill in the round so far for Outsiders. Again, they will
Ma be ma sja baraza be bor, hajde, le të fitan njone. Banin e sorran.
inside the B site when
Qëta në vërtajnë që shpëshjet pas kanë me na i level pak.
6 to 15 on that round, and Fame
A keni bo like o quna, bajeni like edhe subscribe, hare shkojna për 2000 soba edhe 50 like-a. Sa si ka njës bëna e, bëna like, se tani mos s'kena vakt.
the 3-bullet spray on the guy.
Hare mere, hare Ardo.
Can execute that better
Hare vla që ka ishtim 1000 euro,
from Fame.
ti rrujmë 2000 sopa.
The new guy filling in
Cash.
I mean,
Shë kështë bo me 1000 euro.
rounds in order for Outsiders to feel the same value that they got, and that was when where we see, you know, an entry fragger of the same kin.
play it back, man. The point blank trade out. Norbert's death not in vain because Fame follows through with 5.
Oh, and
Shot to blitz.
literally an ace that could have very well saved the map for Outsiders here. Yeah, and we know if you save the map, you actually
Hajt
have a
Riyad.
chance to
Hajt tani që dënë hare Riyad në Discord.
entire life in the stage here at the challenger stage, which is the same every
Dy
single
ti dhash.
come down to the wire for a lot of the teams that we see today playing.
A e kon ti që qelë që roman të roman po.
That the thought of being 1-1 is probably
Jam kon.
such a relief.
Nashta.
Thought of being 0-2.
Yeah,
You've played one day of
Që e lot futbol challenge e ka bo, lash.
three
Që ke po se emri be, o në do këtë.
the most stats.
Ta kum dit emri, po ta kum arro be koja vel.
like indeed. Well,
Ja bro dhe këshyra në bashkë të SL-ja.
who I think was
Smojna me këshyrë të gjëtë, si shkaki që mëna me hongër
still
copyright.
getting outdone by IHC overall.
Kur do me këshyrë të gjëtë, si shka një në Twitch, e lëp një gjëtë, si edhe të këshyrë një atje.
Unlikely late round
Këna një
situations
qëtove
so
që
much to prepare for.
ma shumë me bo ma bet, me këshyrë lojen,
And now that's
qështu me juve.
he's got someone beside him who's putting up an
Po të
amazing
gjëtë
fight.
si nuk
It's actually
mojnë.
mostly been James who's been doing that himself as well this game. Maybe they get a chance to just take a crack at the ego of IHC if there really was one. It never really struck me as a team who spoke of themselves too highly. They just mostly seem proud of the fact that they're representing Mongolia.
Me pas kontakt për shumë me gjëtë, mi shkru gjëtë që a ban me këshyrë lojen të të,
They simply want more. They
po,
already have
po në
gotten
s'kam
the
kontakt.
appreciation of their countrymen and their region for last time around. That's not what they're interested in anymore.
Me thonaj që ban e këshum këshyrë, ma mirë të aj se të këta. Normal, sa i edhe shqip edhe komentar lojen, na kish knaq.
Normally, I feel like
Hella
they get
mas,
Aussie in
doktor.
that top slot, and then an Asian team slipping in as the second.
They beat
attempt.
Greyhound.
So
That's insane.
back to back as well, right? They did the same thing for Antwerp. So it's like there is a new top dog when it comes to the Asian qualifier. Shout out IHC. Will they still have to play Greyhound in a 0-2 game to eliminate each other? Maybe. But they've also got 11 rounds versus Outsiders already, and off of the back of this mic issue tech pause.
To be honest, man, if Fame didn't get each and every one of those frags, it looks like IHC wins. So
Yep.
I don't think they should think about it too much. They actually still have enough money to put together a better buy than Outsiders even have on this one.
You got a stomach
11 për 11, o atë qëtar vartojmin kanë me të shoh.
evaporates. Remember, folks, this is what Outsiders do. They are the soul crushers. Just took away a piece of IHC with that last round win.
Shka po jam Armenja që të majera ka me fitu bëna e a jo.
In fact,
Unë e kam një farë ndjenje që kena me fitu, do më thonë, komplet.
this one starts slowly. IHC with the 3
Jo që t'loj, po komplet Majorin. Para me në bëna e me fejz në finale.
T-side. He saw a couple bodies, maybe 3.
Pa.
Ooh, and James not far off the mark, but Techno slips back into the corner. Oh, and Cabal finding Norbert through the smoke.
I mean, he's been finding key frags here and there in these last few CT rounds. Uh-oh, outsiders. Well, they were considering just waiting that out, hitting B right after, but now they've been pantsed.
Kampiona e me, qashta be Allah. Qashtoni.
That
Kur zva me thonë jo.
game plan at 30 seconds.
Mani be, ma be po trend, ma be kaq negativ, span, Allah, pozitiv do të me thonë gjithë po, mojna.
Players, nobody's watching. 2 line up. Oh,
Ta këshyrëm që shpëllujnë kondër bigav.
to catch Flit right after. Jane turns his attention back.
Kur lujnë këta të sit kryet, gan që ke luj.
Then Jane can put down bomb at the very least. Can they hold on?
Inshallah së shkojnë në overtime se
Versus 5, they're
s'po këqër kanë bile.
They're already getting
Qta.
pressured by utility. Frags chip away at Fame.
Ooh, another smoke.
That could be the big one.
I see. They want to play it properly and wait this out, but can they do that?
Oh, he sees the player towards bank. Fame slides back behind Dice. Annihilation up close, and there they go, sliding into the smoke. They dive behind the truck. They've got the cover, and they've got that first kill. It's a
Me
Jane
mujt majna
1v5
pa flatra lung.
but the bomb is being defused, and Jane wants nothing to do with it.
Po qashtë që shotë lu,
Yeah, they opted for the dice plant, and actually that patience was just beautiful. It got
Timonaj.
outsiders into some pretty bad spots, and they could not figure out what.
Këta gën po të shtika në gjëmbë.
You know, being patient, being composed was actually the best course of action I see.
Kine as ka kanë dukët.
Everybody except for James. SHQIP being carried forward could mean the world, but at the same time.
Qëta është pisha sejtë, së më ka rasë në sibil.
See, why shouldn't there be another?
Sa së bajkajnë. Shaka omër, bërnja një paracetamol qëti.
Seen some crazy scenes here today, and whoa.
Qarë mara që është deka sy si bët. Unë që s'di me lutë sësë gëtë që të zë.
His teammates have something to talk about. 3 AKs and 1 MAC-10, a decent amount of grenades, and a kill. Most importantly,
Si pull pa kry shke ka posh.
taking out Annihilation again, wrapping it around long. This has been a consistent theme.
Ara Allah, jo të kalë tërtit edhe 4 runda fitani.
Oh, Kicker doesn't get it.
He just loses the duel he was waiting for the entire time. But now, look at the rotations from IHC,
Alla ile qysh janë kualifikuar që të dy ekipe.
and plans are exposed.
Blitz sees multiple
Kështu me të
bodies.
njafshëm a qysh.
Can't stop them from coming through. Jumping Mac-10.
Këta janë me luna për shpija se në vend së një këshyrë këta. Allah, këta në qëmë për të shtingan.
Towards mid, and Fame's going real deep. Techno gets finished off as Kicker had done most of the
Pa
job.
strategji, pa sen, veç pa hes kanë. Bol që për përdorin kanë njerë shiftin.
Fight Fame with 3 on the round yet again, just climbing that score.
Mongolia. Oh,
Every step of the way.
a pas kanë rjet atje.
Bad CT side sucks, but having a good CT side is very impressive, and Fame in this final quarter has been doing a ton. So that's something. Another round again. They get Annihilation, and like clockwork, go back to what works. Killing Kicker made this very sketchy for outsiders when the rotation started barreling up towards A, and the hold was not sufficient. Norbert made the important move of jumping out with that Mac-10 to create space, allow for the trade.
Kur si ra bëna jes, me na njaunën për qështeve me lu 16-0, pas mi mojtë.
High pressured situations. Outsiders keep it close, man. Economy on the line again. Kicker,
20 kila që ka bal, 21 kila flet.
they're gonna press through. Don't clear it thoroughly, and Kicker gets that sweet.
Që di me pas internet më nga li. O, qaja po mjetë që di. O, veç leta krynë Allah se 12. Ka.
Annihilation. Techno.
O, veç mas shkoj në overtime, amani jau kam.
Bomb lingers outside the B site. 5-7.
Please, no overtime. Kanë me lu me ekipën big.
The snap's
Pe
not
Gjermanisish.
16
Ka gjatë fort është në Allah.
kill, and
22
this is what outsiders do.
rang do
Yeah,
këtë
it
kanë.
really is. It really is. I mean, there have been some great rounds from IHC this half, but it's just even more impressive to see some of these mid rounds come through for outsiders. And it feels like their aim just gets better as they get smarter as well. And so final kill comes down as Techno tries to dive for that AK and
İnşallah siyah baraz oyun.
will take the lead.
Doga czeka ta jako.
Quite a stressful game, and I think if you zoom out and say Outsiders versus IHC, oh, it was really close, but you know, Outsiders.
Me tak shumë luk kur ishin kanë blink.
Very good map from
Dy fitore I kishin ata bigat, një o blinkat.
their individual levels, some very good ideas. And the fact that
Po, bëna e tash.
international team who are very good at overpass
Ka ne gutën dojq.
is impressive. And you know, first things
E kanë që internetin akullnoja.
have a buy again.
Hadi inshallah e fitojnë Allah se e janë këta.
Show that they can claw back into a game. And you know, if they want to do more at majors and they don't want to be looked at as a team that can regularly qualify, which is so impressive, you know, just be the best in their region. This is one of those games that it's kind of it's not being handed to them, but it has all the signs that they were looking for on the kind of day they would perform an upset, right? Right. They feel like
Allah që ka var pasi. Zi që pas ka ra hisese.
Makings of that upset.
Inshallah bën e jetë nasjent, po më mërmenja në ashta I shkon këgja mirë me du.
Nail-biter rounds and Outsiders slide back into the lead.
O, dës kingi. E jetë dës ki I PUBG-s.
Hard to keep your hands on them. Yeah. Flit and Norbert, easy opening kills versus just these USPs. This round was always meant to go down smooth. And sure enough, it will. Annihilation inside the first smoke, score inside the second. Fame continues to pad those stats every step of the way. So yes, IHC. They put up a good challenge, and they've still got that chance, but they have to prove, like you just mentioned, that they can claw back. Right?
Yeah.
Ball's in their
Nasjent
yeah,
ose me
because
nejsh.
right now you can see the tapestry coming together.
Vi nasjent, po më mërmenja që shumë atë fort jena.
What to do with that information.
Edhe aty mirë, po.
Paced the same spot outside of Monster to hold for a push, and was right that it
Qa
was
vallaj
two
das
rounds
këtyve
in a
qështu.
row. Some of these things don't feel like
Ka një herë pa një laj që knepi qyrën bën e jetë, se
really well, working the map really well, rotation.
tash Majori.
I think Outsiders are nailing it.
Ma po janë lojt interesant.
Early rounds in the half where late round they were holding short control and caught Outsiders going back to B. That was one thing where I was like, whoa, IHC can keep up, but it's been a while. It's been a while since we had that round.
quantity of those moments definitely sliding to Outsiders' favorite.
Hela danger.
Oh, shot's not far off the mark.
4 me të moj. Hade be, hade be.
IHC's
Ah,
an
no.
affinity for that. 2-3 rounds they go poking for info. Most recently shut down by kqyr, who holds the very same corner. This time, not alone. Plenty of support just steps behind him.
Calling out the lack of utility here. I don't
Hello.
know if they're going to keep Monster resmoked, but it might be the most important thing they could do at the moment.
Apo ja shumë.
Vanilla setup for the
Shka bëda mingu futbol challenge. Desat janë iz bëneja.
They're already on him. kqyr pounces, wastes no time.
O, fot janë i sorrand, o bab.
Great distraction. Cabal's got another.
O, këputa të thonë fot janë i sorrand, po s'fëngoj.
IHC, but the bomb can just walk away here. We've got a third player from Outsiders.
Kujo rjadë nubi.
Sliding up into that A site. If he checks towards long, he could catch score. Yeah, a fair duel. And now all of a sudden that door blows
Qa?
off its hinges. CTs have to try and scramble right back up. Fame
Aha.
has sunk his
Jo që
teeth
gjo s'ki
in,
nejna veç që kumë në
looking for the jugular as Outsiders would be pushing this to 15. Little T
Ja,
side
s'kert.
comeback.
Ashtu, para ashtu.
Flashes one frag, spotting over top of that dumpster. Flit now hunts the headshot. Jame, he catches that
Bila rrëva
flank,
me
so it
nalë, se u
falls
tot
on
që që po
Annihilation.
nalët edhe knejna e lash.
In that retake, offered up from IHC, it's Outsiders on 15.
Yeah, and that's Flit, I think, climbing to the top of the board here with 25.
Po vë futbol që janë shëna, kur t'janë is loja kismet. Kur t'janë is bëna eja, janë shëna këti zonin ma shumë. Dhe sa ta krynë qëta. Kush jetaj besë asë që e këshyra t'yve. Inshallah këta për të kaltit.
On the connector, and this round he's over at long, chilling, trying to figure out what his teammates know. And I think there was a gap in the communication, and Score wasn't prepared for that.
GG, hada edhe një rand, edhe një rand, edhe një rand, më se banit më
Very
olla.
good for not forgetting about it. And kqyr starts off what could be the last round with an opening kill on a wallbang.
Just insult to injury with that one.
No rifles left here for IHC.
Dinky MP9s and a solo scout. So
Po sa mos harroni me vë like, ti bojna 50 like që ti për bëna jetë.
party players on high alert.
Se marrë me na hina i Gjerman aty, me thonë që s'pe përka e kanë heq ekipën e tëme.
Oh, I love that. Trying to go deep, but could be
Oh, hin TikTok, wa s'ka mas TikTok.
annihilation. Oh, so lucky to be alive.
O inshallah, hajde mët një Allah se me uzi këta mamash, ka janë këta.
9, he'll hold on. Score replacing him up close. Do they press through Monster again?
Edhe 25 like a bësa, 50.
He tried it not long ago and paid the ultimate price. Kicker and Co await them. We've got MP9s pressed into the forefront of this B site.
Ja që se fitojnë qëtat për të kalti që të rong,
Scout no longer
që të rond,
in play. It's gonna
rong.
have to be the key.
Sem puna tëme. Hajde, GG, hajde, hajde edhe 3 veta, hajde, hajde. Bravo, hajde edhe 2, edhe një, edhe 2, ka një hapa i kanë të dit, hajde.
21 health for the CTs left and
GG,
neither of them
GG, GG gjemat.
16-12.
Hajde, qëna, qëna piktuaj, qëna se e keni të zave në nega bom, mërë, numba.
Grinding back wins.
Ko edhe me shkët i kalzoj shansi. Ja që tjeve vëlla, po, më i mi o kalzu. Këta katastrof ka kanë. Desat janë izë bënejat, janë orë mëzone se që ke muzik, për na kop copyrightin, a i në orë live-in ketë. Mos të rezikojnë. Tash janë izë bëneja të ndëruar me që mrena 5 minuta besoj që do të startoj doja. Qëtëve kisha mujt mi Allah mësem për CSGO, a për tjerë, ja. Këta ka ishin kom katastrofë. One që kur s'luj CSGO, kisha mujt mi mësu na i sen që me gjubili na i smoke, na i flasha, me përdur shiftina. O, dol plazha, bre. Rio, Rio. Ku qërëso njeri, të bo foto me këto. Po kësë bonat me bo foto. Qërë orë atje 2, je mërë farti, ja 2 minuta janë i s'ljoja. Edhe 2 minuta e 22 sekunda fillon bëneja të ndëruar veç. Kale ma gjallë të në vërtet farë qa me vërtit, ala se ka një s'ljoja. Tarujmë zonin. Qërë mërsa njeri të loja, o në pijamat i këmë vesh tash. Kje jetë është e pa drejt, bre. Jetë shajze. Vamo, senjus, furia krushet, o nation, to be secure, Brazili, fërsen. Furia pas ka mu që ta që i majtëm na. Që fa shpija i. Gjash me i gjash si të. O veç letë i të ujna bre. Sa me nënsi i fërca sa. O gjuqa, o fladeto, shpirt fladeto. Faru i pasi. Pe kamera. Edhe 54 sekunda të ndëruar meq. Mbohuni. Mos harroni me kliku butoni like edhe subscribe. Kur ta keni janë flatrën, s'kena që ka më shqetsu. Klotna. Babën. Ama normal. Këtë ekipa Allah, ju këmë thonë edhe atëherë kër i këshu shëmlojt, e kena ekipën më të kompletume. S'ka, heq. Se cili i krym pozitat e veta dhe janë lejtarë. Halal ju këvd janë. Po na prezentojnë mënyrën më të mirë. Qëre pa ka njani, së mban tjetëra dhe qysh. Kejt, veç do të me kon top form. Me kon disponim edhe easy peasy. Inshallah s'ju prishet tasjer apet si noob, si se më zvet ma roma tasjer. Arbe ma heki këtë ekipa, Allah se na shërlaj.
Kur ju prish asnjëra?
Ndojt parë, jo presh. Sabah kur kalu kanë 4.
Ka shkrim këtë meditore, këtë, për da.
I ty bon se pasha, ajo anë këjke për tasjer.
Jo, më një nalë këtë. Ja ka vaj,
Që futbol challenge, si t'ja nis loja, jel shejzani, se ajo s'ja ka nisi reklama për ko. E po tutna po manar lojën për shak të zërit. Si t'ja nis, qërë fladra, ne fladra.
Outsider's hands.
Yeah, that felt like a key turning point. And
I
it
can
was
ball zone.
definitely nice for IHC that they won both pistols. I think that helped a lot in the first half, where without that pistol round win, they probably wouldn't have got that many on the board. The issue with that T side, it felt like they tried to play between the bomb sites at the start occasionally, and then the coordination didn't seem like it was fully there to play between the sites, and the only rounds they really won seemed to be when they were maybe getting onto the B site quickly and having a couple of players step up, even though they're in disadvantaged situations. But they just about got enough T rounds to keep it competitive, and then at the end there, unfortunately, that's what outsiders seem to do. When it's a close game, they always come through.
It's all about the experience at that point. You know, we spoke about even when you have like only 2 players like kqyr and bojm being super experienced there, just the presence of those 2 guys can really spill into the other members of the team, and it can help them bring home these close games.
I feel like that was pretty much the bojm show throughout the duration of that game. I've got to be honest with you. It was well and truly bojm time. Now, from my perspective, obviously everybody knows bojm, and I think everybody kind of expected a really dominant performance from him. But focusing a little bit more on the side of IHC, Kassad, what do you think it was that really started to let them down early game? I know we said that they started to pick up the pace and the momentum, but early game, it looked like it was a little bit of a struggle.
What I noticed is like, obviously they started B-centric kind of offense early on, but when they switched to the A side, I think it was round 8 that we could see the real issues that the IHC had, and at that point I think it was a kind of downfall, and I think that they were not coming back from it. You can see that the end
Allah që sot në të interesu për këtë lojë bile pa edhe.
You can see there, but look at the players, like how far away from each other are they. They get the entry, the trade is there, but look at the positions. If you can pause here, like
Mira banajs me na njonën ekip piqtemve një 16 zero kismet. A një 2-3 kurbana, po se po. Kodin grad qatë CSGO-ja.
Players were closer to each other in the first wave of an attack. It would be much easier.
Po me dit në sen tjetër.
That's the thing that I'm telling my players after this game. Listen, this is what we need to work on. Next time I'm calling this round, we need to be closer. So it's usually there is a rule in the teams. In my teams it was a rule. If the first guy is too far away, the second guy behind him, he needs to tell him either wait or just just need to wait for a couple more seconds to just spot the difference between the distance of the players and just call it, because the entry guy, he doesn't see who's behind him, and it can be a little bit more clustered, I guess, in situations.
Hawker, do you think it might have been a little bit
gati
of
tasjerat
tilt play
mosat
kind of coming
të
into
gjuset.
effect for the side of
Shkeka ka e
IHC every
mirë
now
alla.
and then?
I don't think so. I think mainly just from the
O,
start of the game,
Stikle,
you could see that
përshëndetje.
they didn't really fully have the coordination there in a few of the early rounds even. And it's a shame because I feel like they had to fall back on a lot of these more simple just site takes, trying to go together. And even those, the coordination didn't seem to be there. And the other issue was, felt like outsiders were getting a lot of information. They had a lot of connector control throughout that first half too. We saw bojm there multiple times just getting information, and if you have connector, you can oftentimes just hear what's happening around you. If teams try and rotate all the way through spawn, it's so difficult to play between the bomb sites when that
Hare
happens.
bosa klikoni butonin like a subscribe shpërndon në live-in, ti bojna 100 watt që t'ja kojna belen.
Follow-up, you're going to get flanked.
On top of that, utility for outsiders was great on the CT side. How many
Se po fitojnë banajet, pa t'i shkatrojmë Gjermant.
or something like that that will stop IHC from progressing and getting into the site and maybe even split them into that site. So overall, I think the better team won, but it
Ja, men
wasn't
var
easy.
min
They
mot
had to
ska
work for it,
visa
and I
här.
think I saw Norbert at the end of the game have this like big sigh of relief with a little slam on the desk, which was okay, we freaking did it, right? We are not 0-2, we are still in the game. So props to them, they managed to close out the close game, and the experience just showed. Sad for IHC because they have to start the playoffs tomorrow.
Do you think the kind of for them they were kind of not
Ryssapet
necessarily
get
expecting
kikam
the
igen
best
kanske,
of
vet du.
performances for the side of IHC? Do you think outsiders were kind of went into this
Kör
game
knäna
thinking
kanske mer
and
där
possibly
avspel.
even feeling like, yeah, we should win
Knäck,
this,
kör.
we should be pretty comfortable as well?
Läta ska
100%.
kqyr.
I've been in these situations before as a massive underdog, as a favorite, and the mindset is kind of different when you go into the
What
game
for
against
can
a team that you
ta
don't
dyat.
really know, but you know you have to beat them and you should beat them.
Nizo te
It kind of
trajtin
tends to,
në rank duket kanë.
backfire sometimes, and you get these close games. It's good that you win those instead of losing them and going to 0-2.
Alla bloody.
All right, well, coming on up
Oppa,
very, very
charge
shortly,
då,
we've got
fan.
our next matchup, and that is going to be big, taking
Kik
on the
knäna, man
bad
ser dojt
news
sig
Eagles.
kameras.
We'll be back very, very soon.
Kufarsu. Ayeni gati bana bana bum bum bum bana Och smatchet kopkina med tjo. Çfarë valla gan. 22-t në rangat 23 kanë, kështu që i bja që të fort janë. Problem këna me pas, po na jena në top fort. Kena u zonin saj reklame se pa na i fut copyright. Si t'ja nis luja e lëshojna zonin. Bëna bom bom bom. Me të panave do të me kqyr këtë loj. Pse për përna i reklamojnë detin as janë të pas vizitora, shka?
Në farë dhejtit kur.
Kanë piko kës me 5 djemë fitojnë isë pëse ki gajli. Inshallah si ka bo zarar se pe ka barki na i navonin. Do të me lan luj.
Po pi farë vendi ka kanonë.
Inshallah që gjallë kuj les.
Kërësotit të vi Turkijës. Rea.
Allah di artë sot s'tu mbës ka bës. Sot veç bëna jetë.
Kësi me kësi.
Ja, 2 minuta janë is loja. Ej, që sa 2 minuta ne, 2 minuta këne. A ka naj muzik që to? Muzik, pash në shta valte e detit. Për duket që të videa, pas kanë inzizu një herë, dhe ta ne veç veqesin. Që s'ka kam paksu të gjemati heq, të kje, sa të uja. Qo, që farë veni. Para më në ta kish pos Kosova këtë deti. Pa. Një shumë lo.
Metit ka në rangë, bita.
Sotit?
Biga, pas metit.
Po.
Na, kesh me 23 pas në do.
E, pa e pas në pas qyrë të bëna e. E që të fort, pra. Mas janë të 15-it. Shabë amërë. Edhe 1 minutë e 30 sekunda mbane frymën me të sepse do filloj ndeshja për Majorin. Për momentin jena 88 shikus, 33 lajka. I shkon mirë më bo një shikus edhe një 50 lajka. Të rrore që shtjeni ju në dispozicion.
Këtë le shku që kanë ta. Vetë në unë.
The Major is finally here. Rio is live. IEM. Çfarë oje? A thua me krep shtrohet pyetja. Ditëve tjera nuk e di valloj bës. Monet me pas, normal, po. Njerë për njerë jena të fokusum që nena të bëna jetë për Major. Nesër kanë loj, që e di. Tash nuk e di kur e kena pushim, pi bëna jeve. Katërmejt, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Do ta qojnë bënajet këta kup të Majorit. O hajde o plëm, hajde shpirto, hajde. Ujë, mas mirë se ndorë se pas kana qfarë ke mërga, mos vaj ka ore. Zjen shpreje, dorë se on tjetër nivel. Veç për që qik për do kam I kqyr ketë Majori. Ja, ketë loj tjera.
The real question is, do we think the wealth of experience and knowledge that Tabson brings to the table is well
Po
and
thot
truly
bënajet
enough
janë
to take
top
on the
form,
likes of
bënajet
bad
janë
news
babat këtë loj
For me, the
edhe
main
s'ka
question with
kushimon.
Big is, do they have enough firepower to match up here with Bad News Eagles? Because they don't have their full lineup. When you have Tabson as a fragging in-game leader, you don't want firepower to ever be a
hopi
question.
petlas
You
ati.
feel like they should have the stars around him.
No.
Outside of
Këto
Sis,
hin,
I don't know if Big Blue-
këto hin stadja.
When you mentioned Thompson and the bragging rights, I thought you were going to say about
Po
Recon.
thot
because
për
he was the
bënajet
guy who
s'kena
actually,
shka me fol, dhe më
recommended and
thonë.
spoke highly about him in-
Ju
when he
rekomandoj
was
që
back,
kur ju
but
bje me
like,
bënajet,
he's
ma
maybe
mirë
a year
bajeni
and a half,
surrand.
he said like he's the next
Në
talent
fillim
and
të
he
lojës.
should be picked up and there he is
A
on the
ka
major, and
kenç,
it's just
kismet,
amazing that,
kismet
for
djarë,
example, Bad
nga
News
2
Eagles,
kingja pi presëm
in
sonte.
RMR, the guys were like the brink of losing, right?
Në tetë
And
ka
they were
kaur
like
atje.
down on a
4
2-2
orë
game,
do më thonë ka
one
kanë
lap down and 11-4 in the second
për
map,
para neje,
and just
për mas.
dominated from that point on and they still keep dominating. In the first
Ja kom
round today,
show zonën
it was
ty be
it
full.
was a one-way
Vil shë ati
traffic,
zonin live.
a full-on domination
Veç
against
që këshër ka
the
stik le ka
in front
qikën,
of the
o.
crowd. They should be the one,
A,
you know,
brele jo.
paralyzed by the
Luni
crowd
bre jo,
and,
luni,
you know,
ka
they
kush I
played so
kqyr këtë
well.
qika.
Now they're facing Big. I think they have a decent chance. It's not a favorite game for Big, you know. I think they're going to struggle a lot against that firepower that you just mentioned.
Well, I know we
Oh, no,
discussed
no, no,
B&E
no,
very, very briefly, but I think Banks has some more specific questions for Flatro in particular. so let's
Opa,
check in
po
with
thot
him.
Flatra. Dishka e për meni
already
Flatra.
lit up the stage,
Ah,
but now
check
we're
it.
going off stage here. I've got Flatro with me.
Me gjerë për ta pas me lu që të luja.
Zero Nation, they decided to challenge you on Vertigo. Okay, win percentage wasn't looking so good, but were you surprised by their pick of that?
Not at all. Like
So
we
nice
prepared
today, huh?
Vertigo
Ah.
for here. We knew that we were slacking a bit on Vertigo.
Mos te
but,
çoku.
there was different circumstances that people didn't see behind the scenes. We were
Edhe
having a
2-3
rough period
minuta
of
bës.
time, like being drained from all the events that we were playing and the dealing with the visas and stuff. So we didn't
hek
know
na i
Vertigo
vizat,
at
bre.
all, so it
Funi
was
let na i
kind of
hek.
expected, yeah.
Well, it looked damn good as well. And on this stage, we already know you guys are used to playing your lands back at home.
Bëjeni like,
But
ha,
you
subscribe,
guys
sepse
really
po
feed
fillon
off the
loja
talent.
të ndruar meq.
But even when they're completely against you, it didn't bother you.
Not at all, man. I was smiling and trying to get hype from them because, like, I love the feeling of being on land.
Hale sa ma shumë loja. Bilenia 50 loja do të mi bo.
Like, we play 100 times better when
Mos u
when
kërret
we're
një
on
edhe
land
11
and when we get
lojka.
that high energy rolling out, you know. It just gets a lot
Me
easier
ta
for us
djeg.
as well, like, a lot of more motivation to play. I don't know, we just love it. We love
Kan
it.
me ro
I know
bëna
you
e,
guys
kan
do.
me
I
na
can
he
see it for
visa.
sure. Now you're going up against Big though, a different type of team to 0-0 Nation. But you're playing them on
Allah,
Blast 2, which was
inshallah,
like
inshallah bab.
their best map for a long
Na
time.
heking të
Okay, you
visa
can
se
look at
shklet.
statistics has dropped down a little bit, but you feel like you've got the edge in this. You feel like this is still comfortable. One to go for a best of one.
I mean, on maps that we feel comfortable, like, no matter who the enemy is, we're just gonna go for it. Like,
Po
we're
thot
not
na
looking
veç e
at
di
them.
po
I mean, we're
mjerin
looking at the
edhe
enemy, respecting
kryt
them,
e
but
tina.
We're trusting more ourselves than we're respecting them. But we beat them a few months ago, qualifying for the RMR, and
Po thot edhe para
we
mëre
feel
ti
pretty
mysën këto
comfortable.
ekipet
That's why
lodhta.
we left us to.
I like it. I love the confidence. Let's see.
Po thot bravo baba, tjeni veç vazhdoni.
Now, following
Åh, hajde upp dem, hajde.
Dominant victory versus the likes of 0-0 Nation 16-3. Kasad, this in itself is going to give them all the kind of confidence and firepower that they really need to kind of get them rallied up to face off against Big. However, Big also in its very, very similar fashion have had a little bit of a stomper performance. It looks a bit scary at first, especially considering the fact that, you know, the side of Furia had an incredible lead over them. How do you think it was that they were able to claw back those rounds?
First of all, we have to put it out there, the mustaches are, you know, awesome. That's a gratification.
Hoppa, nu går Boban, hajde på det här.
So that's first thing that's
Vertigo Boban.
something about the visas that's very draining.
Pi Banaes, säger man
If you
väl?
don't have a proper management behind
Inferno,
you, a team
Pi
manager
Bigo.
who's going to be doing that stuff for you so you can
Han ser inte ju Boban.
the fact that they won this map.
والله انه overpass دايم يدوبهم دوكر. وهاك overpass. Dozde. Det dozde baba. Easy peasy ekena.
Because Big is really good on Dust 2, and that's their signature map for the past couple of years. So I think that's the advantage there for Big, and they have that dominant half against Fury and that massive comeback.
Pserigo flamorin e Shqipnis.
I feel like the confidence booster
Zvicra se ka
those
boske.
rounds in itself is gonna
Kan dra mig så att de dök.
especially when you're playing in front of such a huge
Nej,
crowd.
kan
I
man
love
väl
the
inte
fact
kalla
that
oss.
he had kind of mentioned that, you
Allah
know
ska
what,
köra.
they might have been cheering
När
against
Tawalin.
us, but it was just adding fuel to the fire, fuel to the passion itself, and that is absolutely
Här är på
what
där.
we love to
Där
see.
ska gärna
Now, Hawker, my question for you
sätta
is,
att det.
do you think playing on Dust 2 for the side of Bad News Eagles could be a huge detriment, or do you think they've got this one in the bag?
The thing that scares me about this is
ما يساتر
even
إيه
though
إن شاء الله
Bad News
ناس يلين
Eagles
فات.
are a team we talk about as having a lot of
ناس يلا
firepower,
الجال
I
برتا.
wouldn't say that comes from any of their AWPing. And Searson is definitely someone who I've seen had some very good performances on Dust 2 in the past. If that's a big difference here, that's the one thing that concerns me for the Bad News Eagles side, because I normally think they're at their best when their riflers, Juan Flatro, Synopsy, are really performing, and I don't know if Dust 2 is the map to do
Hade
that.
bara
And
sagt
it's
att lajka
also
skina per
such a map
puzzle,
big, as you
måste
said.
korrekt per pak.
It's a Brazilian team
Nietzsche
that's
in
big
za
base
20
that Searson played well
patakola.
in land, so
Allting.
that's a whole new, world right here that we're living in.
Var det
Was
kanske.
that a pun because my name is Jasmine?
Var det så ska upp det.
Well,
No,
it wasn't intended, but yes.
I thought you tried to pull a machine there, but we are just about ready to get things underway. Folks at home, it is going to be Big taking on Bad News Eagles. Make sure you get involved in the conversation and use the hashtag IEM. Let us know which of these teams it is that you're rooting for.
Här är på det här. Flattrojon idag står det. Då startar jag näena terrorista. Kena met jag. Här i showen med kontmal. Tyffittar ju när de vinner alltid.
Kasad saying it himself, man, it's a whole new world. If we're on land in front of a
Jämnis
huge
böja.
crowd, and Searson's putting up them numbers. So we'll see. We'll see. Bad News Eagles, I think, getting over the hump of, again, visa issues, the drain of online events and everything they had going on back where they made their names at a major. Keto. He's very quickly going to drop Rigon and look for a little bit more. He's got a teammate in Sin over towards the sidelines of Car, and Sin connects those headshots. GXX finally gets something back as he slides wide with the kill to Crimbo 2, but it's that third man in Sin. 3 kills in the pistol for the newest member of the Big Clan.
Yeah, we're obviously pretty familiar with him coming out of the Academy League, and I think I've seen some games where it's like, okay, a little bit rough, a little bit nervous, but definitely some big rounds as well.
Schrabantas match
obviously very positive for Big.
Inshallah ma apet med tasierna.
Favin, before Crimbo came on, was kind of the next biggest German talent, and then Crimbo came on and was like, Crimbo is the kid to watch. And they're both playing together. They're both very new to the team. They both have many years ahead of them and probably not in their peak years at the moment either. So it just felt like losing Favin, that might be a little bit too much to stomach, but I think the Big Academy roster has done a very good job of developing that talent, readying them for an opportunity just like this one. And since they are playing the favorite, the map veto definitely favors the Germans at the moment, so they'll be happy to know that. Keto also had a pretty solid map. just a few hours ago versus Furia. He'll be feeling good. And yeah, for Searson, top 10 player, but in the online period, and absolutely has a discrepancy that must be mentioned at any chance about him online versus on land. But the great thing about today is that with that win over Furia, an enormous comeback, the op dominance from Searson, it is something that if he wasn't sure if he was going to be nervous, well, now he knows he doesn't have to be. He knows that when he is playing focused, that he can be himself, and when we know he's himself, he is just a very close to an elite opper, right? If he's in his comfort zone, and in that 2020 period, it was like him and Poison were both vying for a spot to be in the conversation alongside Zywoo, Simple, Shiro, and like, who's next? And it was like one of those two. And of course, there was a bit of a drop off after that, but still someone we're looking to. The first German in CSGO to crack the top 10 on HLTV, it's no small feat, so well,
vanlig tagvet.
Would be a statement from him and would absolutely change the conversation around him.
Scout for GXX. Glocks all around him.
Arrogance.
Nothing towards these mid doors. GXX would love a target, but he's going to have to get to that A site if he wants one. Not sure about everybody else. Honest man, I was coming in with low expectations. I was worried that with the stand-in and recent form, wouldn't be picking up many W's. But the fact that Furia, such a lead in front of such a crowd, I mean,
and such a Kqyr.
Yeah, we got to give him credit.
Credit
where it's due. Bad News Eagles will grab a block. This one slips to Big's favor. 2-0 start.
Yeah, almost no utility, no upgraded guns. That's a very solid round for BNE to score a plant coming off of Cat. So, man, I'm watching a little bit of the EU RMR. Of course, we were watching a simultaneously run RMR for the Americas region. Just seeing a couple of the games from BNE. They were playing very explosive, very cohesive CS, and they just looked terrifying in some of their games. And I'm not surprised to see them competing on the bigger stage once again in back-to-back majors. Still looking for that org, by the way. So if you're looking for a team to pick up, you know, BNE should be at the center of your radar, I think. Having bootstrapped yourself and dealing with all of the things. Issues and a lot of the logistical things, that can be a nightmare. And when other teams have that support and you have to go up against that, well, that can just take all of your energy. So, yeah, very commendable for BNE for holding it together in these trying times.
Getting back to where they need to be, right? I feel like just this is what they do. Back-to-back majors. I feel like some would have doubted it. Looking at that RMR, I thought maybe that was just, you know, the glorious one run, but no easy feat to make it back-to-back. I think parallels to be drawn between them and like IHC for that reason, but obviously doing it from the EU region. Into one Flotro, so Scout finding its victim and chopping down another player off of this first gun round from BNE.
Yeah, maybe Searson's not done for the day just yet. He's got a little extra juice in the tank. And into this 5v3, looking like a similar strat to the last round. Better guns, but less players. I don't know which one I would rather have. Probably this still. 3 AKs, lots of utility. Let's see if they can get that bomb planted at least.
Bravo. Bravo. Oh, bra.
That's going to open the door for Bad News Eagles. So on an individual level, he's done his job.
Singular man
advantage now at this point. And if big chance for a 2K from him as well. They're still concerned about that pit player, but at least they know where the pieces are at, and they're going to fix it to Grimbo.
Chaya, Baba. Let's go.
Damn, and that's that explosivity that I was talking about with BNE. A beautiful few different scenarios. They had to keep changing what they were going for. Taking cat control. The cat player shows up, but knows he's going to delay. They both go for a high. No chance to fight back whatsoever. Synopsy off the great flashes drops into CT in the initial attack. 3v5. BNE pull this off, and that's what's so exciting to watch about these guys.
Any round, any moment, it seems like they got that. Searson, though, Op dominance.
Try to marvel lash out
throughout
of
this
botch game
series. We'll see
sniper.
how he can perform, but he gets the better of the scout.
Gjatë për na e ka njën fillim.
Synopsy was looking for the contact, dies. And we'll get
Hajde,
to try to
flatra.
transition into the boost towards tunnels. If these CTs aren't careful,
E hik.
they
Iki.
could have walked right
Mas
into that, but Searson reacts
brembo.
fast enough, takes one flatro off the top of the boost.
Sniperisit jemi fort ka ka.
Back 3v5s.
Back-to-back 3v5. Well, let's see if they go back to Cat as well in this 3v5, because it doesn't feel like they've got a magnetism towards it. Still got a full kit of utility on GXX as well. Surely they'll have to innovate to get away with it once again. We've got big full attention here
Bravo,
at this late round option.
super.
Variation in the setup as well, right? Don't let BNE drop down CT.
Tapson's readying his
Men
flash
I hik
already.
damage. Nej,
Keto
kan jag
could
bedöma.
just stiff arm them as they tried to come around this corner.
The great part about the setup for the CT side is even if they don't come, you just update with the flash and see
Ja,
that
det
no
går
one's
ni
there,
alla
so
avsnitt
if
helt.
this
Bara som jag
fake does
flätar.
anything, Smoke comes down, they're coming out
Bara
mid.
ser den
In under
som man
pressure.
nästan det röstar mig
Regon's gonna
mer.
get the better of him.
Oh, now they separated the defense totally. Three
Du
players
går en
towards
sinja,
B
helt
side as
av
they
sinja.
look to crunch on B, but Tapson kills
Visst
it
att
one
bana
hit.
är sinja.
Searson back plat, comfortable
Which-
as ever. Two
Bara
shots,
är som
two
vi får.
kills, and a third round to
Så
the big
normal
side.
och asni plums jag hos i dejtar.
Unfortunately, can't get those back
Med
to back
snipe.
3vx's.
Great start to the land here for Searson. When we look at the stats, that after today, he might be near the top of the board in terms of consistency. Obviously,
Incredible.
kqyr is going to be in #1 spot. I'm going to spoil that for you. If you haven't been watching, he has been in God mode.
Yeah, that ain't going anywhere.
Which is also kind of a cool conversation around Furia, who, right, you know, playing in front of a crowd, the most pressured team here, probably. Like, even Imperial are actually not as pressured as Furia are at the moment, because the
Yeah.
expectations for
So much
themselves
higher.
Ka mirë
so
mos
much
më na
higher
ik fort.
top 10 team,
Den
right?
se tani kur t'jena po
When we
lidh
look
sa
at these
më na
two
me
teams,
kthy sa
Big have an excuse, they don't have FOB, and Bad News Eagles, hey,
Ma
we don't
rätt.
even have an org, you know
Për
what
pa
I mean?
lidh.
And the cool part about Bad News Eagles is they don't have an org, and they get themselves to these positions.
Yep.
That's the kind of team you want to get behind.
Vesh mos si
They're
dirën
doing
zon
the
si
hard
vallaj që
part,
ashtu te ka ka ke.
and you know they're not doing it for the money. They're doing
Hiç
it,
hiç
they're playing for pride.
asni plums e ka
trying to be
uq.
better, and they're proving it.
Sa e pa shtu.
But bigger are not going to be an easy team to stop, and yeah, that op dominance that Haka pointed
Full
out is a
lack
really
tash.
important factor, especially on Dust 2. It is so overpowered to be
Me
able to
mujt
control
një
mid
dy
from
denja
both
2-3
sides,
lejtari
as a
shumë.
T side or CT side upper, and if Searson is playing well,
Ma
that's
si
going to
ek.
be clearly the biggest problem.
We got 3 bodies stacked up here. Crimbo, he's going to get
Scheiße.
himself 2.5 on the kill feed. And in an instant, that bomb just goes reeling back towards middle. Keto's going to fire long
Hade met
range,
det
deals
till
with the
det.
close player first, and finishes
Ma
off
ble
both.
bor.
So sure enough, easy 4th one here for Big. You know, they were prepared for that long hit. If Crimbo wasn't the one-man army that he was, there was still layers to that one. So Bad News Eagles have to take it on the chin and move through to round 6. The rebuy shining through.
Yeah, it feels like apart from 1 or 2 games, most of the matches today have been enormous CT sides, followed by enormous CT side comebacks. And yeah, Big were obviously participating in one versus Furia, their own comeback over on Vertigo. You know they're going to be quite comfortable here at CT side Dust 2 as well.
Kuna la hissen ta styrs i bränna hona.
Plays like this with so much information just put a ton of pressure, invisible pressure on the T side. They don't scout Searson, taps it out,
O ma si
He's
der
walked off
sena
with Cat.
zbre.
and then they'll start putting it together. Nade goes to
Kush
the
long
tunnels
idéshit.
to let him know that he was there. And this is that G2 bait, the Alexi B bait, that even Hooksy ended up using. But how many times are people going to fall for it?
So far, nothing. Searson waits and waits. Flash goes over top, so Cat now under question. And with that utility presence coming through on Catwalk, the long players
Hade flätra.
peel away. Ooh, on Flatro, point blank.
Ma ble
And
bor.
Cineri right there with him. So 2 easy pickups, 4 big inside tunnels. It's going to leave B&E back to what they've used and succeeded with before. It's the
Ja,
push-up
hoci një plë.
catwalk in the
Ja hoci
3v5.
një plë ma ari
They
inshallah
got
ma
that
gjallë fja
drop
hoci
down.
tash.
GXX hunting elsewhere, but this time, Big come through.
Wicked, man. They've just got so many layers right now. And again, those the play from Tapson, early information inside of middle into that deep tunnel nade into, okay, we kind of have an idea where your setup is. You're clearly not inside of mid or anywhere near it. And then they put pressure over on the B site. That gets called out right away, playing close positions. not letting B&E get away with their aggressive lurks, which is a big theme of their T-side play, and Searson even here updating info persistently as they try to cross cat, where we've seen them late round 3vx, they've tried to end this way more than once.
Rimbo gonna hold on to long yet again. This time by way of flames. Catches GXX on the follow-up, has now been left to his own devices with the bomb just outside the long
Ja, borsa normal.
easily topples these measly pistol peaks. Little flash attempt to try and get fancy, but Keto's got them both. 6-1. And again, barring that 3 versus 5 into the B site, or excuse me, A, we haven't had anything from B&E.
Yeah, it's true. And even that round should have been grim, right? They had to go work overtime between the 3 players left over and then make like 6 right moves in a row in order to pull that out. So when we zoom out, it's a
Nëse jeni tri mos harroni me kliku butonin subscribe edhe like. Po shpresoj që bëna tash me kthy rezultatin. Na vim bile një 2-3 runda me fitu bre. Ç'ta është me bo 6-3.
I think Maniac said the
Are?
other day they're kind of like they're like I can't remember what the exact line was. I'm going to butcher it because he's so much more eloquent than I am.
Arrogance chart mo pala ja.
Brazilians basically, you know, in terms of
Klatra alo asnjë herë.
in a LAN environment.
It was curious in that interview to hear Juan Flacho say like, "Oh, we just love the LAN experience or like the the environment so much more because outside of the last major, there's no big events that B&E have played on LAN."
But they played events from their
ones.
They played even their online events in a LAN environment, right?
Sure. Yeah, side by side, shoulder to shoulder.
Yeah.
Just like Keto's first 2 kills. Back to back inside those tunnels.
Very underrated play from Keto today overall as well.
Hare Rigan. Bravo Berigan. 3-3. Synapse hik. Qaja Synapse. Super është. Hajde. Hajde që të rënë të nxerëm. Ma bre, bur me flash e mi. Mjetë, 2-1.
And Keto is nowhere to be found, but his impact's massive and he can still catch them off on long. Rigon's watching, and
Qaja.
Keto comes through those doors.
Gjorzdy, hajde po kthejme, remontanda.
Mid to A this time around, jumping into CT, and yeah, how are you supposed to read that attack? So they try to keep it fresh with that move, and Keto's kills are in vain earlier on in that round. Here's how it all began, really putting a fork in that default, but the kills back from B&E, they fight the whole way.
Me t'ja zbut kryt një 2 herë.
Kind of like an
Gain
outsider,
si është
with
mirë.
just a higher tempo in the sense of they don't think they've lost until the round is definitely over. Or
Hade.
some would resign.
Ja ka nis që shpia huq.
Not even seeing a lot of support for him to get out here, but he does have a
Sushi ka
full
hoj.
kit to work with, and they're going to spam him exiting the doors.
Ja ka nis t'ja huq ky pak me snajp. So pja qëllon më me të parët.
Magnetized here into mid control more than a few times.
Koni nxeq aty pak para
Above the
lojës.
minute mark.
E shtyn kompilat e Gjermanisë.
Ska baba. Just I can pick mid hedge. Klatra di shas së ndisponim.
That crack in the
Asnjë
armor of
kill.
big CT side right now. But big
Çfarë komplet
to get
monti.
active. A flash maybe for
Po mos
Rimbo.
del Rigan amoni taka. Mos del.
Play counter flash, Searson pushed off, but comes right
No.
back at it. So nicely
Klatra
done
e
by
boni
Crimbo,
një.
stares at the wall until
3
it's
se
his
4.
turn.
Ky snajperisi
Take him
është
down.
shumë love.
Man advantage.
Hare heksenar.
Into middle. Oh, the fact he gets GXX
Drejt.
while Scenario
Hare be
watches.
me të që snajperist monti. Bravo e kolli. Yes!
Oh, and
Bravo Synaps, qaja.
crisp.
E pjeka
Musical
snajperisin e nas.
stagnant outside of this B site. They've got Sin just beneath the window.
Hade me të qaton.
Waiting for these T's to push through, and
Shky
sure
pak e
enough,
tofçi.
through door they'll go.
Mo!
Meant to be
Mo!
caught. Sin gets the
Hade
kill.
Sener.
Scenari trying to hone in
Bravo,
on this,
super.
and Tabson's got the health advantage with 20 seconds on that clock. Scenari looks for the kill through doors, looks to grab that bomb back. Tabson inching
O
his
moje
way
Senar ma
closer,
pur.
peeks, and both players taking damage.
Vish një plum kimi avon.
Falls in
No,
with the shot at
bre.
the 10-second mark. It's big in with another.
Wow, that's Tabs
Ah,
showing
nice
us
try.
how to win a fight when you get spotted. Backing up, but just to the point where he thinks he's gone for
Oh,
real.
play
He's gonna be
14
behind
doom,
that box,
14
wait for the
pass
close
me.
plant. No, he takes
Qa
another
ta që me
confident
fitu na ma
off
shumë
angle,
runda
comes right
është
back
të
into it.
thonë.
That's kind of fighting fire with fire when it comes to B&E.
Që
I
me
feel
pas
like
ma
if,
letë se.
Sin had to work hard to get his first kill. Could have maybe put that sight hold together by himself if he was a little bit more clean on the first one. But B&E, I like how they waited.
Ci stanno andando dash mi fito. C'era babor, che scocca normale, Allah per snipe.
It's 7-2, another kill.
Allah kyllä ita ma ska cheat samalla. Lan.
Want to go through that?
Ja, flätar singel
Tries to play his hand. Cut down by Keto instead. Scenario.
Ma sena.
Keto's already dealt with that. No chance, bucko. He can still play the bomb. Now it's gone.
Jaka mara.
It's totally gone.
Damn it.
Very smart of Taps to just do that early.
Vuosina sieni trinkat kanal ma sarani me posso subscribe alla like. Shposh presiona që bëna e tash kanë me këthy rezultatin. Easy peasy.
An ominous grenade just as you start to get into position. Try us, says Keto and Sin.
Problem.
And bad news, Eagles will.
Aşkım mulla tavelling på något tash gate.
Could have gone better. They are met by the incendiary, forced into the fight. Sin gets in with the kill and an assist. And Keto continues to
Targan säkert så att hon albele.
and bounds above the rest of 14 and 4 so far from Keto and an 8-2 score for Big.
Yeah, I mean, for a while it was hard to kind of talk about Keto because it kind of felt like he was the scapegoat of the team. He would be the guy to get replaced if they bring someone new in. And recently, you know, he's been doing extremely well. And I even have considered him a veteran when I talked about this team at a certain point, because now he's one of the team players who has the most experience overall, with Tizian out, with some of the new guys coming in, and Searson honestly is even relatively new compared to Keto, right? I mean, I don't know exactly, I can't remember. I'd have to go back and check. Been a lot of moving pieces on Big, but yeah, he's seen a lot. Keto's seen a lot for sure.
Man got relegated down to the We Play Academy League for a little while, right? In place of Tizzy. So
yeah, which is a boon to the Academy League, but as a player, that's got to hurt the confidence. When you think about what you mean to the roster, but it's tough. Those decisions have to be made, and it's not necessarily personal at all.
I think he had a great attitude about it. You know, said he saw it as a chance to just prove everybody wrong. Saw it as a motivator, chance to help out Big as an organization.
Right.
Still felt like he was part of the clan.
Yeah, it's a good example of how to be if you're ever in that situation.
Egoless in a way.
Yes, and look what it's netted them.
Came back better than ever.
Yeah. So, I mean, no matter how hard you work, that'll give you a little boost. You know, just to remember that nothing is forever. Always going to be someone right on your heels when you're playing CS. So Searson now walking this back a little bit. No flash support behind him. He can take one peek after a flash comes, but they're not actually setting one up, so they might cross.
Whoa.
And
Synopsy, look at that, through mid.
Oh, bravo.
Hade
Hecka Synops, bravo.
Over towards the corner, huge round from Synopsy. Keto left looking like a clown.
Hade Hecka Synops. Mas.
We've got Crimbo still deep down inside that pit, and bad news Eagles trying to get their way into this bomb site will plant, no doubt about it.
Hade det kan.
Keto's moving fast here, and he
One tap, bra.
Damage.
Thought maybe he would go
One
unchecked.
tap skapa om ena myt.
CT's transition
Det är bara save om det.
So shout out Synopsy.
Dude, they do some interesting stuff.
Kan
Like
para,
B&E
man,
do
så
not
tror jag
play
inte
like
bara
other
save.
teams whatsoever. That's a faster strat. There's a giant risk where there can't be anybody holding onto mid, so I'm not sure how they knew or how they got that guy off, but they ended up running out through the mid smoke into their CT smoke, and once Synopsy did that, maybe that's the flash call to say, hey, go cat now, we can do this. I'm getting too far with this lurk, and I'm not sure how to turn it into anything else. Once that smoke comes up in CT spawn, he can no longer be there.
Hade man bajn like, man bajn like. Hade jag passat like som ni barna.
It's very important that his team
Bajn like alltså subscribe.
Johnny man. And I think that is again a focal point of B&E, is that if they've got something, an opportunity in front of them, they don't think too much about what.
Samma som lajka, så som fattar bane den durar mitch.
That's why this works
Och
so
subscribe
well.
då. Här tippar kramar som skipet.
Nobody's kind of reined in.
Du måste ju det. Det är så att jag ser på strategin. Këta që
See
shpo
a
lull.
gap, you take it.
Të për momentin janë të lull. 2 ose 2B, 3A ma shumë. Që kë snajperisi, këti s'pju bjen fije, her mid, her rën në gëja, her shë shalën.
Up into the tunnels. It's looking like the B hit. Sin
All
on his
B
own
jena.
for a moment.
Full B, baba, hajde.
Ooh, the new kid on the block finds.
blocking him.
U përzi
Yeah, a
deshi
little
që
bit
aty,
of
qëra
space
marrë
inside
Allah
that
heki me
smoke.
snipe
Didn't know if they
gamecin.
got beyond him or if they're just walking right into him, and sure enough,
Super, bëjën e kena marrë vece.
Big calling it quits.
Vës tash meru.
Before retake on the B side, I don't know about that. They're
Shke
out.
bu me,
Yeah.
mira.
Sin,
Mos e gjuj
got
hez
fully
bumën
flashed.
moje që aty
And
bas.
even though he's body blocking them, which
O,
is a
këshërë
little bit
flatrat
risky,
nalë.
the
Shumë
problem
më
is
a rigoni ka të këshërë.
because they know they can't get into the site. I mean, they're just going to start shooting wildly, right?
For sure.
It's actually better off waiting. this
Ma,
long, letting them cross.
bre.
Well, they're still hanging out and they actually
Bravo,
got a nade
Sakov.
kill. Are they actually going for this?
Dunked on.
It's so late to just come back and reorganize, but here they are.
Qaja Sener, e hek Sener, bravo Sener.
But paying a fatal
Gjunsh
price.
aty, heki.
Could have been a
Heke
four-man
mutin.
save. They get
Ti njek Seneri.
They just lose two.
Da, o, kë snajperisi mut. O, mos i delni mër mutit.
Swinging the big green, so double op saved here for big. Unless somebody switches back.
Maybe they just decided like
Dhe
we can
gjithë,
afford to
8-4,
make
mirë
this
jena, nuk jena hez, vallaj.
Sure. Go
And they did.
even
Ja,
yet,
kjash
so
teatros
it's quite costly here for BNE losing the
Si terrorist, sa sim keq.
You know, poor Sin just turns into a speed bump essentially on the entry.
Seneri shto. Ti ka gjblu.
Feels like maybe if he didn't eat that flash, he would have been as helpless.
Po
But,
edhe
well,
bëjke
dodging
push.
flashes
Te kemi dhe
is
kuj.
halfway
Ja, hek snajper.
more,
Harry Gens ve heke, bravo.
the job when it comes to anchoring.
down he
Man
goes.
von Gens baba.
GXX peeking into two offers.
They're picking mid, taking long control, and they've got it.
They'll walk away alive. GXX.
Harry Gens heke edhe një.
He'll see nobody as big position further towards Cat.
Qëra më kanë shku në gë, këtu nejtë atë.
And I like this from Big, active inside of the tunnels, so clearing out
Ata
other
shmojnë
parts
me
of the
shtit me
map, getting
des.
that control. Sin not going to waste much more time. Searson worried about maybe somebody still holding top middle, and it is kind of the case. Synopsy deep in T-spawn.
Bravo bosa, 53 lojka, kinga jeni, pa sharap. Shkojna për 100, kur gjos janë neve.
Finally, just a more regular.
Hale se bënajt po kthejen aty ku e kanë venin.
Slowly into the hit with the CTs knowing that it's coming and starting to organize.
Ja, si shkon mirë me vorë të jetë, nashta më
Wow,
sot,
he
pa,
finally
në për
doesn't
posh.
even see anything, just threw that smoke. Perfect crosshair placement on the lineup. Straggler here.
Kqyr synaps.
That also goes the way of Big, so suddenly Bad News Eagles with a health disadvantage and a man disadvantage, and 40 seconds left on this clock are going to have to press into the long cross, and they get this hailstorm of utility that stuns them.
Arë flatro.
Flatro regaining vision, they'll go for the boost. I believe there's a player over top. Scenari looking for the impact.
Qëra Senar qatë jeki.
Ninja.
Oh, they want to wait this out, but it's just going to be so close.
Aj.
Crimbo from beneath.
4 kills on that exact play. 1 the first time and 3 on the repeat. Big dismantle round 13.
And we're
Oh,
not even
I
sure
don't
if
know,
he
me
could
push.
see anything. Cut him down by the legs. The first peek, he was fully in the smoke. Just lined it up, trusted the flash, and didn't want to overcommit, and that was a great idea. Second peek is something else. Shout out to Sin as well for being aware of the potential for a late player up Cat that hadn't happened before. And he
Honestly,
found him out.
I think Sin's been doing an incredible job as like a call-in stand-in, right? Like, it's tough to replace Fobin. That was an iteration of Big that looked like
Hade
everything
been
started to gel.
ta 2 runda me
And
fitu i shkon
honestly,
super.
dude, Crimbo, as much as we want to sing Keto's praise and talk about Searson's generally consistent op impact, sometimes, you know, absent on land, but when it hits, it hits. Crimbo has, since his original kind of, you know, thriving first moments in Big, fallen off, tapered off, became more support, and just
Hajde
kind
u
of
zonë
didn't get
më
his
ta
frag
keni me
feet
hope.
back beneath him. But he's 14 and 5 at the moment. Big leading by 5 rounds, and Bad News Eagles having to limp into this with a
Hade
10
Rigon,
on
Rigon, o Rigon!
all the way to the
Ka,
corner before
murçi se
Tabson
volta.
finally gets his hands
Me
on him.
flash
and
po
a
po ke
5v4
venire anë
yet
ato
again.
hit.
Yeah.
So Bad News Eagles round after round having to play from the back foot.
Yeah, clearly they were trying to scare them off along on this one, but in this position, Big with 3 were ready to commit. So the wrong round, but it's just a gamble, and BNE pay the price in the form of 1 player. No AK on Scenari, but an op to supplant that for GXX.
O Seneri si vyn e keja, veç kryt i vyn.
But
Aj,
can't hone in on it
jella.
'cause Searson's
Çke
got
snajperisi o te bo diferencën e
Tabson
lujes.
with the supportive flash. One Flatro gets behind box. And he's looking to hold the
Bra
side,
synaps.
gets his impact
Hade,
for
klattra.
spotted,
Ma,
but
be pipar
taps it.
masit.
Shoots one Flatro in the back of the head from the ramp of CT spawn, and now it's double man advantage for Big yet again. We get this quick evacuation, the fallback, and it's met by utility. Synopsy nearly killing Sin on the
Šta
crossover,
tapa, bre.
and he's going to go into the tunnels at the 40-second mark.
They got them to obsess over the Goose player and then just protected them with 2 different layers. So
Shout out Tabson.
Yeah, and Searson as well over there on
Kul
the
att
ramp.
hjälpa dem mass. Gains it.
Remember, GXX no armor at the moment.
He's just hoping he's still there.
Yeah, hanging on.
I know you're there.
Crimbo, meanwhile, swapping to the op on ramp. Synopsy going to have to try and take this into his own hands.
Bra Synaps.
Clean, but you don't check keto, you go down.
Kishkappar.
And now GXX got
Vi får gå in med stacet från det.
He
Ja.
doesn't want to
Hade ganska hög bedestan.
save, my friend.
kill his
Bile
people.
shit
We're going to the last
snipe
round. They want to
jak
have
i
every
tjej.
dollar that they can spend. So
They'll hang on to that.
GXX, he'll have no nades on this next round unless they want to drop him any. Everybody else will put together whatever they can, and it looks like
Cash
they
cash
are in a
nja.
very good position to make this an 11-4 half.
Ja, men vad vi emot backen i kqyr.
Kram emot man det.
Map, I
Alla
think
på
we
duschen.
know they're comfortable
Alla
on
på
the
duschen
offense.
in bred.
In fact, Searson is shooting hot at 30.
Kör det försöka kap. Så
This is
brylligt.
for a big victory here. Clear as day.
Sniper i سيكيف.
Putting Big in the
Arrogant.
2-0 pool.
مخون ما جيمز از دنیا میشون کجامی.
Of course, still 6 rounds to win.
بس
Sin
باين
takes the
بيك
top of the
تعمل.
boxes, and bad news Eagles, despite that early presence, just wane away. Bomb and spawn here, no rush, but very important round.
Kom sniper i sig.
Got to get that 5th.
Ja, jag har tagit det. Ale bo sa shkojna për 100 lajka 250 gjena e babo. Are se bëna jetë. Nuk jena kash. Lajt kadrën ato, po na jena
I think it was
polisa.
nice, that's
Normal
why.
mazar.
One fragment, yo.
Yeah.
That's not the everyday one Flatro.
Yeah.
O,
it
be
could be
qaj.
less, but not by
Qaj
a
ka
lot.
përna prish që zakun qaj me dhe ka marrë vesh.
Be like one less.
Duket.
Oh, you sprinkle some team kills in.
Qere be bor shka bani me atë
Frag
bumet
grenade shot
montit.
from bottom mid, banked off the cat wall.
He doesn't even-
Oh,
Kja.
and from the other side, that one less impactful, but still delicious. Bad news Eagles getting tenderized on the catwalk.
It's been a little bit too much time here this half.
Met by a Molotov.
And now
Can't
they're
run
wondering
through it.
what they wonder if there's a guy at top mid waiting
Say
for them, if they're
it.
sitting in the tunnels.
Oh, it's bleak. It's
Check
desperate,
sniper e smut.
but it's their final attempt on this
Shni
T
herë
side.
besja
They're
hu
gonna
që një
all
Du hade satt in dröjnont. Nu med lite mer kater. Gå i sida mot zonen lite. Tjo, sa bara nej sig. Försök också far plan i Allah nuk është vi qajt po marrojnë asene. Edhe 1 minut e 50 sekunda fillon pjesa dytë. Ja, ma pa par edhe e fundit, se veç me një mapja. Një mdhejt me 4 ato për momentin. Të më thonë, si polica kena up, tash jena si terrorista kena up, tash jena polica. Loja e nisa 1 minutë e 13 sekunda, që rapshin aty pusht. Jo, desat janë is loja, e keni për detyrë me bë like edhe subscribe sen tjetër. Të shkojna për 100 like, shpërndajeni live-in për momentin na 220 watching. Me bë like edhe mi bë një 2000 soba i shon këgja mirë. Për na vyj kanal një 60 soba. Kështu që ju shka sjeni subscribe, bëjeni subscribe se sen zbahat. Hella keni. Edhe 40 sekunda veç se pas startan. O, pa, këshore që kemi flukt ku që o heki këto shkryë një o bës. A lujti flatra se nuk e por valoj flatra për momentin. Në gjumë ke po tha tash këthejna. Kjo e qeni të eshti me lo. Shka janë më këta? Fiji. Fiji. A Fiji shka? Bosona, shka janë. Smet kupën për qojna jaran. A jetin rea, po vlad shko. Qëton plazh jamën. I kom shti kamp me vadit.
Secure this best of one victory, you've got yourself at least 3 chances.
A që kur I thot Rigoni femna më dhe edhe kqyr. 6 tere e gjys me fitu bënajete. O bërni dikosh 1000 euro ti fitej 6000 sopa. Hare ka startu pjesa 2, 11 me 4 për bigat, post kanë me fitu mas një rënd këtë kismet. Ku kalifikohen me fitu këtë? Në Majorin jena bës. Të më thonë do të mi fitu qitë loja dhe lojën tjetër për më kvalifiku 16 tjetër, në më finale. Alem Vujici mapa parë është bës, edhe s'ka, do më thonë best of nesht, me një map, nuk janë 3 mapa. Ma bre, s'ka nevoj be për posh, polica jena tash, moni ja ka. Po, të më thonë, kush e fiton të dos 2, edhe kryet loja. GG për Rigonin, 3-3, hajde. Bravo Rigoni aty! Rigoni! E hek, gjuj që aty, gjuj se mire ki në shenjë, kryje ki! Uj bre,
It would have been beautiful, but the defuse here.
Defuse o bon, ishli bedesh.
He does enough. Gone. Nice start to the second half.
No kidding, man. Very few bullets used in that 4K. That was quite a hold from him.
Hare për hare, kos ke smeta është asë një rëndë spjavë lojna këtëve smalla. I ka so se I one tap që dhe. Rigon baba. Rigon ma. O janë isi këtë sniper isi.
Makes things interesting. I feel like Bad News Eagles, you know, sometimes if we go back to Antwerp, right?
Qëtë sniperisin me eliminu, rundi I fitum është.
Even when they had substantial leads, it was the offense that kind of betrayed them. We're now witnessing them on the defense, so let's see.
Yeah, but Big don't have a problem.
Ata është më dhejtë kër I shumë fema, po si është. Vjes një kill flatra, o flatra zëjza. Ma kanë arvazu keq flatra, se kur të qartët, këtë flatra si kërët na I thik, na I kurban kismet e banë.
Yeah, the thing is for being any team, they know long throw gets taken.
Gantz?
Oh wow, they're actually not ready for this at all.
Ti kishin po dhe këta që kishohëm na.
Throwing their counter utility and the quiet cross early seems to be working out quite well. Juan Fatro, lots of pressure on him. CT's coming up though.
Ma gjallë do është me bërtit. Shka me bërtit, apet sa fet këta. Bravo Rigoni me sënere. Super, 4-2. Edhe plus kanë lu fort. Super, hek me këtë snajpere sik. O të kjerë I ki. Mirë. Nuk o kesh tre gjallë, super është. Tash janë e ka ta apet. Easy peasy edhe rundi tjetër. Nëse dhe më bos të gjëtë. Ja, brevor. Gjëtë, ja gjëtë.
That's not a moment where you normally see Big get rattled. They had a lot of map control. But CTs, they were coming in fast, man. They were coming in through CT on that early rotation.
Ai ela don't CSGO, ai e din sana. Kur ka me rroke, qysh ka me rroke, ku ka me gju bumë, unë në zdi sana. Unë veç e myti, ai e myti ke. Super, ja ka hek me bumë, ka gjë. Qëtëron do të me fitu lok me 50 a gjallë, bravo sana. Qaja, baba. Gënca të. Një hetrek, flatra ja vjevën I kem, po hajt. E qme që donate e admita. Allah, s'mon është aket. Se këto e kënë të nalt. E kam të nalt për YouTube-ës. Ashtu kështu mos shesone s'marr pare për YouTube-ës, as dhja s'shmin zëras. Faleminderit që të kanë me. Bravo, që ja huqe vlaqka. Me këtë snipe të mutit. Në pa një shpreje.
Find the mark despite 3 players of Bad News Eagles being here on long.
Yeah, they were ready to lead out with that. Now, normally if you know that there are 3 CTs, you can try to squeeze for mid control early on and test to catch a lurker rotating
Ja, faleminderit. Bake support.
but they also know if they keep the middle of the map closed off that it's a 2-3. So it depends if BNE have given them enough automals to know
E di, ja kell
that
tamam
this is the
punë.
setup.
Etra se I femna riga.
Well, how do we get them to rotate and maybe still take A?
Hare.
How do we go mid?
Bravo, be Genci mu ka qartë pasharat.
From below, takes out Keto.
Unë
and
arvazu Genci
survives
dishkas.
with 93 health. That's almost all of them.
Nearly.
Flatra së punë mja këthy disponimin.
CT flash comes from the B site. Bad News Eagles take a glance towards mid doors. Crimbo supporting Searson and now taking the front of this push.
They're still trying to look for that.
Pjekin në dhe një.
defender.
Po anë shpreje, po.
He's locked into this corner. If he goes back peeking towards mid, then he's going to find himself in the scope of Searson.
Hare Rigan, mos ba pik
There
mo
it
Rigan.
was. And there it went.
Qare
The
bes
man
në
advantage
kërisin e
just
mund.
evaporates 20 seconds though, so it's going to have to be the commitment into the A site.
S'kan ko, veç gjuni smoke, ka kona I smoke ma. Një flash e ka një bobe, gjuni qatë bume. O, Rigoni është atje ke, flatra vet. Flatra të. S'ka shans, me më të mos I bani pik. Mos I bani pik. Qashta. Myt. Ko sniperisin e motit.
Okay, 3 kills at the end.
Genci I ka flisif.
That's a little silver lining here for Big. That was a rough round with the amount of time.
Që vlatra.
They
Kjo
finally
është
got
kinga
that
rrë.
idea going.
Më ka një shpreje.
Constantly
Se neri tha mos shoj se s'ka kuptem.
trying to figure out how to take advantage of it in CT, rotating back and forth. Either say
Super jena.
B and we'll kill you then, or we'll find you while
Ka
you're
dal,
there.
po
And they did
barazohet
a good
rezultati
job
të ndëruar
of
meq.
watching the
Kështu që
B
jo,
while
metet mi
attacking
bo 100 lojka.
on,
Mos
pressuring
ba
long at
pik
the
bre
same time.
Rigan që aty
It just all
me
took
des
too
hiç.
much time.
O, mos ba pik as të sin.
He's big in an awkward place here.
Mos bani pik bre valla se ky sniper është I mutit bre.
Keto
Be
got it.
gisht jo
On
fort.
Flasho's position known.
That aggressive maneuver could be very costly.
He's real close.
Bravo Senar.
Maybe not.
That's the gun back down in the dirt.
Gjuji qatë molotov. Bravo,
Snare and
pjek e
Scenary to be
mutin.
picked up right there for Scenary, so he'll grab it in a moment.
Gjuji
Snows,
Sinaps,
he saw
shumë
bodies.
mirë që ke bu me.
Trying to get right through the smoke.
Se din,
Spot.
bravo,
Tucks along
bravo.
Fox.
Edhe janki.
2 kills off Scenary.
Mos I ba pik se ky mot është.
Searson's on 22
Mos I ba
health.
pik
He's
Sinaps.
already gotten
Bani
through
pik,
the
mos I ba pik.
So he kills
Bravo,
Synopsis,
Gent.
and all of a sudden he taps into the clutch, but GX
Trasë një.
Plat, he's got it.
Qartët edhe Genci aty me snipin e tina.
Bad News Eagles within spitting
Hado,
distance of
mother flower.
That was a lovely maneuver. Now, with the speed that they were coming at,
Let's go babo, po shkojna drejt balazimit.
they're going to scale
Jo,
up
drejt
right now,
fitores.
try to rush me down. They're not going to jump up and fight over this one way after I got spotted. So that was pretty smart thinking from him, and he really took advantage of that.
Qëra sniperisi ka me pa fjole.
You almost never see someone
U
in.
gemau.
And it's all because of that smoke that comes out as lurk smoke.
Shajt
that
u
helps
shiro
you do it.
lash.
So now it's a 2-round game. Bad News Eagles in their comfort zone. Big looking for kind of any success now.
Edhe 2 runda djem, për barazim.
11-4, right?
11-4, sir.
Yeah, 11-4. Nothing yet here for Big.
Qëra be ku e ka rrok,
Control success
bume,
a couple of times.
nuk njehet. Në trop
But
do të
the
Allah.
thing is that It's a
Sto
great gift,
sinopsi
right,
au
from
catena.
BNE. They are happy to give them long control. They are comfortable fighting from the site, and they know that Big are going to try to go for that.
Hade. Mappars, Mabe flätra. Hade! Uçart flätra paşarap. Mira, du är heki.
Like Searson gets caught off, Tabson frags back with the Tech 9, so
Ama smatne voj për
minute
posh.
40 mark, and we're already down to the 3 versus 3. Big can still continue on their journey towards long. It's going to be a sole defender in GXX and his op, but the aggression
Atuar,
from
super atuar.
already through tunnels, but Keto seems to have wind of this.
Sinopsi që to me bo me hek njon super i shkon. Hade Synops? Yes! E hek edhe tjetërin? Yes! Yes! Qaja!
Inside the deep T spawn, Crimbo caught off.
Sana baba te!
This scenario also pushing.
Yeah, there's just more of them. They just keep on coming, and that's the pressure they need to keep.
Nim let me let ndëruar mes.
And that's what One Flash was talking about.
Shkojna për 100 loj ka ty.
That's what they like to do.
Se njeri dy shka, po thot, mos ja khoni belon qështon, se mos t'i hin thikone.
That's why they big win.
Mos shteni mi hin thik.
That's why they can do it.
I think this is, you know, we just had that match with outsiders where like
Problem,
we're gonna start going
problem.
round for round, back and forth. We're gonna finish 25 to
Brona,
30 round
jena
games.
të
I think
shqynë
Bad
një
News
ma
Eagles, their
reha,
identity
o
is just
falemderit, o
street,
bosa.
right? You actually want them to lose the lead in the first half so that they can kind
Veç
of make
inshallah
a
fitoj.
comeback. And if you
Sa
give
ma
them
shumë
that
s'fodojna.
spark towards momentum, you see it emotionally.
Na shta
They'll
s'fodi pum
just
shumë.
snowball. And again, enabled, I think, by a CT side. It's less likely to happen if they start on the defense, but this is their bread and butter. And right now, Big getting
Na vën
smothered.
gen si një me hek me snipe.
Not a single terrorist round win so far for the Germans.
Yeah, that is worrying.
But at least a bye. Keto caught by that frag, dropped to 80.
Kqyr kfert.
Got two CTs just
Kta
on
së
the
janë të
side
hin
door.
hez, bile na bëna jet na hin shumë.
Just floating in a place where GXX
Arrogant?
start to find
Qaja, a thash, na vën gen si një me hek
First
një.
shot falls into the cover. He's got support on the other end. Next up,
Bravo!
Crimbo tries to fall away.
Bo,
and
no,
lucky
no,
to be
hapa.
alive.
Yeah, he had was it a weapon switch? I think he felt like he didn't mean to do that or something, but he got some damage off. Sin finds a kill.
Hade flatra në gajak që. Hade.
Single box.
I hek flatra.
Play. Tough
Flatro,
first half.
bravo Flatro.
Flatro
Hek tjetërin.
clean.
Hek edhe një, edhe një
Shots
ki.
off the catwalk,
O,
by
edhe një,
Searson
bre,
into the
Flatro.
2v2.
2 vs 2.
Got 30 seconds to the clock.
Rigan dosh me hek qëton, Rigan e hek, Rigan.
But he gets found out unsuspecting as he looked to turn his
Sniperisti
attention back
mund të
towards
tashtu.
site Synopsy. 1v2's just gonna run right
Hade
at this.
Synops.
Searson keeps
Gjuj
his head
qaty.
tucked, staying down in sight.
Bravo, e ka
All
po.
of a sudden, that opper honing in, looking to chisel away Synopsy.
Bravo, Synops.
But an opening onto the bomb site, and
Mënë-
Synopsy has a smoke grenade. He
Ha,
drops
mënë-
that front sight. He sticks this
Smoky,
defuse.
smoky,
Now he
smoky.
has Sin's position
Bravo.
confirmed, and this is his. He's gonna jump
Qashtu.
right on top
Hajde.
of that, and Sin can do nothing to stop it. Bad News Eagles.
GG babo, 11 me 11.
And well called out by you.
Ja u palana të sinopsi.
Head down. It's so hard to find your target.
Cuckoo.
Planted for a long plat,
Hard
but Sin is
defuse.
just searching with bullets, and I'm sure he felt hopeless in that moment as well.
Let's go.
One flash
Është koha me dol në përsi tash.
Doing a good job of it. He got his 2.
Alla me fitu.
The trade came through, but this 1v2 is beautiful by the way he played off of Searson, right?
Vladra dhe
Box showing he could approach
Rio,
in a
Rio.
second, but staying
De
at those
Janeiro.
deep baskets and holding for the exact peak that would come his way. I
Po
think from the
vim
perspective of
baja,
Searson, the way that he
Arigonis.
swung on that very last moment,
Bravo,
really
bravo
rapidly
që ja huqe me snaj bës, që ashtë inshallah të njëtë një
out
huq.
early, and this could be a lead for BNE.
Despite Searson putting up 22
Hade
kills
Synopsi
at
i
the
hek
moment.
2.
Yeah.
This time he
I
just
hek 2.
caught between that
Mas
double
mirë
peek.
është, mirë nuk
Gone.
më ka. Që këmë Allah të vja u
Drops
paljan
the
pak.
incendiary. Sin looking for his kill towards mid. Easy
Bravo,
pick up.
Rigan,
TJ
bravo.
continues to fight. Now you can see it, that bolstered aggression.
Huha!
The snowball effect.
O ju thejsha minimiera beti shtim që shepat 6 ere gjys me fitu bëna eja.
They're
6.000 kohra ti këshum shtin
That is
gjep, o
very
bosa.
impressive.
That
We saw
Bad News
big-
Eagle identity.
We saw a big on the other side of this versus Furia on Vertigo a few hours ago.
Tash janë full eko ata veç.
Certainly looks like a two-way street with them.
Toni,
Again,
jape
you know,
mini bu
CT
plika.
decides to be very friendly today.
Bëna
And these Eagles taking advantage of being on the defense. Money is abysmal here for Big Clan. They have Searson on 6K. Outside of that, I don't think they could scrape together a buy with 2 players. So we'll see what they want to do. and it looks like it's going to be evening out the money. That'll be priority number one. Huge B defense. Double layering here with the high-low setup on CT.
Yeah, multiple times, right? Two separate two-man plat attacks.
Bigger definitely getting outgunned right now. I think that's also the case. We've seen a few decent positions, but they're really not standing up.
Hek sniper leasing Gant. Gant. Chaya.
And a bolstered setup on
Chaya.
shots. Both connect.
Easy. Easy. Mas. Bor.
Come charging up the catwalk.
Bor.
Yikes. Synopsy tucked inside of the ramp, awaits
Nej, han har sniper.
slot from the catwalk, and he times his
Bra
peak to
synaps.
perfection. Despite Keto's best
Super bra
efforts to
sniper.
get the entry and the follow-up.
Åh,
Now
Bor.
his chance.
Mari var med teknajtona bakas problem. Chaya.
Right back to the fight.
Ja,
So now
Jonah
it's
too.
Crimbo's turn. He's got bomb, and he's got both CTs on this
Kommer
ace.
runa Jarms.
He
Sparskabba.
knows that they're here, so I'm sure he's going to go back to the other
Du var
side.
signal.
Armored utility, he's got it all.
Kaleb.
Trying to game this and see if the
Molotov.
rotation's
Du
gonna come in.
leisha.
It must look weird, right, from B&E's perspective, or sorry, from Big's perspective. B&E, 2 players dedicated to ace still at this point of the round versus what felt like a low buy. Why wouldn't they come over?
Synopsis
But,
se
you know,
mor
Crimbo's
sniping
not
shot
seeing
in
anybody,
pas
so
nejt me
why
kqyr
not make
pjajes.
his way over now? There's a chance to plant. They are so far away from this. I mean, they are really giving Crimbo a chance here. I think they have bad info on where the ball must have been.
Kod
And
du
now, as
fleisha
they head
like
back,
kadja.
we'll see. Crimbo,
Punt
this is why
catchkina.
he was hired to win clutch rounds,
Let's
and
see
he
it.
has the space to do it.
Gets up onto the window.
Nos! Bravo! Sen är baba ty.
But Scenary reacts fast enough, and Crimbo
Ska ju
no
vara
chance in that
sniper.
1v2.
That could have been a game-winning clutch right there. That one kill, and then suddenly the skybox odds, they shift in favor of a Crimbo very heavily, but Scenary very sharp.
If he had that
Nemlet med
instant
tramlet.
reaction to shoot,
Skojna
but
att han drar en
Scenary
match.
look in the wrong direction, so yeah, line it
Parfait
up.
tar den är
The
ut.
next time Scenary
När
peeks at
Majorin
you,
inte
he's
dags då.
staring you in the eyes, down you go, and 2-round lead for Bad News Eagles.
Yeah, but you know, up until that point, it would have been very lucky for Big to pull off.
Farma medina dyqyrin dhe bez watching.
Keto and Sin.
Let me vara një 100 like a i shkon alo ma mirë. Për banet.
That's about as hairy as it gets.
Me para i kush ka të
Closest
stream,
Big have
thot
come
100
to
like
winning
a i
a
pas
round
ka
in the
këta Allah
second
qëtë.
half.
E pas kanë
Only
call
3 bomb
shqipe.
plants across it.
Se ky stream rodo më thonë, moni me këqyra masit kryet.
Makes you think back to that
Doja.
Ring on 4K USP play.
Yeah, I mean, if B&E win this round, it's officially their game to lose. Economy on their side, Big potentially saving it.
Bravo Scenary.
Nasty. Shaves off Keto, the man who kick-started that last round in an attempt to get up catwalk. And shout out Juan Flatro, up to 10 and 18 now. Huge recovery since that very real struggle in the first 15.
You're watching a 1-0 matchup right now, folks. And it looked like, you know, Big were not a shoo-in, but the favorite. And it seems like B&E are now looking like the potential suitors for that position.
Bra fart timing love.
CT's on high alert, but nobody holding the catwalk.
Har det ganska
Instead,
extra
Synopsy starting to trail back into CT spawn. A
Right.
lock-in from Scenary on Goose. There's a chance for this long play to go south for either team, but Juan Flatro's going to find his corner and hold on. Back towards mid goes Sin.
Ooh, gotta be careful with those.
Hege bregansi tomo.
Watching this position, GXX
Aj.
spotting as well as they
Hena
run.
naja.
There's
Po
a-
Scenary aty nuk i
the
lejon.
corner.
Nuk i lejon
This is
këtë
impact
gjë
already.
Scenary
Big
baba.
just trying to tread water in a massive ocean. Crossing catwalk, they get in, but then they go down yet again. Sin always
Mama,
got 2
hade.
at least, but so little health. You think this is
Tja.
impossible.
S'keni nevojë me ba, rundin të vështirë.
Flawless CT side.
Qartë Oregon, qartë ose për që ditë kena luftu.
Team looks like they are not close to stopping.
Tu ja palu
And again,
me
they
des
got
Brazilit
through
atje.
that huge
A ka
buy
njoh
round.
Brazilin
There
duhet që
is
s'na ka
a
njoh
turning point here
Brazilia.
for Big. I mean, there's a big decision to be made. It's the CTs who call the tack pause. It is the Big clan who have enough money, they're teetering, they can buy. And I think that it's going to be so tempting, right? You're not going to have the op on Searson,
73 like
but
kanë të duruar me, mos harroni me kliku butonin like e subscribe, shkojna për 100 like edhe 2000 suba, sepse bëna jetë vetëm edhe 2 runda, veç edhe 2 runda na vyn edhe i shlibedesha,
This is very unlikely. So
fik, s'po foli gjermanisht.
simply like an anti-eco, they play their own op advantage, their double op advantage. They're actually looking at Searson with a
Si
scout,
të
and I
një
can
real
understand
shumë për
why.
shkallon.
there's one
Brazil
guy who
não
wants to
nesse
have
está,
that
se
in a round like
largou,
this where you could afford it, AK is definitely Searson.
Sedis.
But this is a clear advantage to the CT side.
Du ser mina på fick.
Ja, normal.
Tabson on the entry. Smoke on the corner gives them that at least, but it is Tabson and Tabson alone. Everybody else back towards middle.
Well, they win blue with his shoes. It's actually Rock's CT setup, and we can see they don't have good positions right now, and the T's are coming in quickly.
Hade
They
flätra.
smoke cat very quickly, but they
Ska
still
nevoj
don't
për
have a
posh
home yet.
flätra, ska nevoj
Once the
kësa
smoke
ha.
comes up, it's the ball is still in B&E's court to make a further move.
Gjuj që aty, bravo, kaja belo. Ma me qica, po hajt shnash, njao, mos I me t'kej.
Shooting for number 15. Juan Flacho falls off the catwalk setup. Now remember, from the start of this round, we have had big on long, and despite their best effort to fight up catwalk, now it's this long cross that could compromise everything for B&E. They boost back up. Sin's gonna keep him busy.
Bravo Seneri, flatro.
Tabson
Treba
comes
se
through
dy.
with 2. It's him and Searson versus another 3. Scenario
E hek, bravo Regan.
covers from a distance. A scout is all that's left.
Zë zëpat dhej snajperisin e nanës. Edhe Neron që si bojna një qiloj ka tesat kryet shkyrun di sen puna jënë. Hare shqipe.
So far in this second half,
Flawless.
that is insane.
Nini.
That attack right there was
To
the
po,
best
ke qikos.
organization.
Që ja u kena palu.
I mean,
As Neron si kena lo me fitu, ej.
held on to long.
Pej 11-4, a.
Bad News Eagles were between two minds about what part of the map they wanted to take.
11 runda rresht I kena fitu.
To peek off the corner of their cat smoke with a flash, one Flatro got his kill. That eased off the pressure, and they never forgot about long. Even when that attack came in,
Wow, edhe Idrisi ka kanë stadion.
using 3 players looking in all different directions, not getting tunnel
E
vision,
nitë
and
të
not getting
vërtit.
scanned.
Oj shit,
That's
oj
the
shit.
scariest part for the Bad News Eagles. Even when they're in bad spots, they're just willing to adapt, improvise all the time, and Big are not ready to do that at the moment.
Që flatro impact player.
Into the waiting
It
hands
looked
of
so
Sin.
messy, and they still looked calm.
These guys climbing the castle
Aron
walls
di
as the
final.
combos stare down on them.
Çkyron na vyn.
Sin just gets overwhelmed
Edhe
by it.
easy peasy.
And all of a sudden every
O,
piece of
kismet,
Bad
ky
News
majer
Eagles
është I
coming
joni,
together.
o baba.
One Flatro up to
Flatro pse
13.
s'ka blebre.
The floor of that scoreboard has risen dramatically. And Big have been entirely shut out.
Remember, both of these teams are looking at this as like one of the
Ti hon këtë trajnere.
games that they could get evenly matched.
Me rëndësi me provu.
It's a tough feeling.
Me rëndësi s'na kanë lënë me zerë.
These
Që olë se, po që
challenger stage, it always
s'ka
is.
erë fiktive lejtare.
This can very easily be 2-2 for you before you know it. And you want to make sure you don't want to give away any of your chances big. They were happy
Rundi e
with
fundit.
this veto.
Hare snajperes, inshallah petha qafën.
This was
Ftofja Gens aty. Bravo! Genci, ftofja. Sheja ujin. E bat. Shumë mirë unë isë rundi. Një I dek, plus tjetëri lav. Synopsi dhe flatro. Easy peasy të ndëruar meq. Easy peasy, snajperisti kurban. Hajde pe bojna kurban. Mledh në ketë në thika. Pe bojna kurban snajperisin për fond. Që e bojna kurban, pe prejna ona një kurban. Hajde për hajde.
Standout performance on Dust 2, 22 kills already, and he has been found out.
Ege se në erën sanso. Ta bojna kurban, Bob. Janë të deshme prej thik, I ka ik petla këti ketë. Janë të deshme prej thik. Janë të deshme prej thik. Mos, bre thik, bre njonën, ho. Bajerin një kurban atë. Një duart rakitje për bëna e të ndërruan meq. Kurbani. Pështove bol gëzo që s'banëm kurban o budol. Ani ujll, ne I ka që hopën gëzo mërë që s'banëm kurban, e I lopë se. Bëna e të ndërruar meq, 2 fitoren. Kuku bo. Ani thëshin kena me hu. E më ba. Pe 11-4, 11-16 të ndërruar meq. Këto sinopsi, masakran. Seneri, platra aty. Loja tjetër, besoj është nesër. Nesër e kena best of 3 me 3 mapa. Me kanë kena me lo, nuk dijet hala se ka loj tjera që do të më kry. Shqipe të ndërruar meq. Aty ku e kanë vendin, 2 fitore. Opa, wop. Shuhu. Ja, veç që se prejtëm me që ato. Ja falem se na ullem se. Ja fali sinopsi se Allah. Flatër Amerikoni këti i thik. Ndo, ka që ke flatër Amerikoni. GG Bosa për ta kqyri mos ka dalë rasesht loja apo s'ma mërmenja nesër del loja kush me kanë me losës se ja s'del se qëra alo ka me lo Vitality me qatë gamer dhe Gionin o gjit me Fnatikat Cloud9 me Greyhound pa kry që të loj s'dalin loj tjera do më thonë nesër në ora 3 ose në 4 e ka bëneja loja 3 ose në 4 tash varet qysh na bje shurti kështu që shihemi nesër në ora 3 ose 4 faleminderit keq që ishit faleminderit shumë bënejes për këto emos ja kanë me lua loa jo bën që di vis një ma vash ha qiti këto vis një zero
po këta shikon të fitu një zero me loj këta
aha
biga
së thash ka bon sër kjo vis një ma po kon tash i kena na 2 fitore do me thonë edhe Mauzi pas kanë 2 fitore ka mundësi që me qëta Mauz kena me lu masi edhe këta i pas kanë 2 fitore ose me o gjit edhe Vitality ka qëty
po qëtë vend në dytë kanë Vitality
po këta të fort janë kështu që shihemi nesër në ora 3 ose 4 kalani sa më bukur po që keni natën e mirë gjumin amel